Greetings, one and all, to this week's episode of Tenno Clock. We're just getting into this thing. We're on episode 466. Getting closer and closer to 500. It'd be crazy to think that we've been doing this for nearly 10 years. And Loz is like, I've spent 10 years wasting my life on this now. And yeah, so we're here.
520 be 10 years though, roughly.
Oh yeah. So, but I mean the big 500 number. So was that shh? I think your noise suppression is kicking in and stopping me. Okay, cool. I get it. Right. But we're gonna start the show like we start the show every week, which is with Emblems.
Well, not every week. We only started doing those like episode 20 onwards.
Every week. It was 19 actually.
And I think it was a batch where you skipped some.
Yeah, but that's because it was nearly impossible to fucking get any emblems.
You're impossible.
I am. Right, so I'm going to go with mine on principle.
Oh, yours is lovely. That's some cool dragon.
Yeah.
That's big dragon with wings. No, it's fine. You can have that.
Yeah.
Mine's a reused thing. But,
however, if you wish to win the platinum, that one? No. That one? No. That one? No. Where's all the meat? That's the only one left, Loz?
Oh no, because I've only got a limited amount of buttons. I have to swap them out.
Oh. Well, we're back to this one again. Recuse is claiming victory yet and again.
No.
If you wish to win 75 Platinum for your platform of choice, go into the description below where you'll find a link to this week's Google Forms. So like all the episode questions and all that shenanigans. Simply fill it in, put your platform of choice, enter your in-game alias correctly. You don't have to do any of the number faff, which got D, like, no, we don't need the number faff, we just need their platform and name, like you've just been doing all the other times. And yeah, you'll automatically be entered in for a chance to win 75 Platinum for your platform of choice. I noticed Loz has gone and deleted the content. Oh! Damn! Is that another Ricky's one?
You've already seen it. There's not a new one.
This is new. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, you have.
I've never seen this before.
I think you haven't actually used it, but you did go through it when he made several. It was one of the several.
I don't remember that.
Like,
but to be fair, I don't remember anything right now. Everything is a blur to me right now. So, right. But yeah, you could win 75
How do graph work?
How do graph work?
That's
not my fault. I mean, Google just pooped its pants. Right, anyway. So, let's move on with the main part of the show. We've got Dojo Dusting. So, I think the only real news we have with terms of Dojo Dusting is we're looking to do the first 24-hour stream in January. Date to confirm. What we're going to do to confirm. Do you reckon we should roulette wheel it?
Roulette wheel what?
Well, so we do a 24-hour stream, but we do the...
Oh!
So we don't know what we're doing ahead of time.
No,
we'll plan it. Okay, fine.
No, we want to plan. Because you could end up with... Well. You don't... Yeah, exactly. You've got to plan guests and things. And also, nobody wants to have a surprise 24 hours on Deimos.
That's fair. That is fair. That is. I mean, like, you know, we'd be prepared as just, well, you'd hope you'd be prepared and, you know, expect the worst, hope for the best. But anyway, yeah, so we'll work out what that is, and we'll also give a date and everything for the January stream and everything. We just need to coordinate it. Additionally, the episode that is coming out, oh gosh, was it the 26th of December? Yes, it is a unboxing day and everything. However, it will be a short stream, short episode. It will only be 1 hour, one topic. So, you know,
or might just be us rambling, reflecting on the year. You know, what state of Warframe. Just something short.
Something short.
It won't have the full rigmarole. It'll just be a quick.
Yeah, I mean, DE will be closed up shop and everything, so there will be no
exactly. And I don't want to give people distraction from holidays and things. Well, over distraction. Some people might want it, but it's just a lot of time to do that.
Right. I think that's it for Dojo Dusting. So let's move on to the horror part. A big piece of news. There's a dev stream later today. So on Monday, the 28th, there is a dev stream.
Wait, on Monday?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, Monday the 28th, there is a dev stream at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern America time. There is a dev stream. It's the last dev stream of the year, and it's just before Lewis Prey. So I imagine they'll be talking more about Lewis Play. I'm hoping they'll also spend some time talking about maybe what's the name of the damn Deviri, right? But I'm not counting on it. I'm just expecting it to be Lewis Prey. Yeah?
Wait.
What?
Sorry, I got distracted because they seem to be some sort of Prime deal now when you log in. I got a message from Darvo.
Oh, yeah, I was confused by that, but I was also half asleep when I read that.
It seems to last till 353 days, so I assume instead of doing the thing they did this year with the random bits of Twitch content, you know, the Twitch pack, they're just going, here is a bundle!
Go buy bundle?
We have done bundle for year, that is it. Warframe content done. So what are you saying about the dev stream?
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they will cover something of Deviri, but I'm expecting it to be nothing but Lewis Prey, considering Lewis Prey comes out literally 2 days later.
I would like some update.
On Deviri?
Yes.
Yeah, I concur. Right. I don't know if there's any other War Report news.
Well, apart from this clear Twitch Prime thing, where you can get Octavia if you have Twitch Prime, it's going to be up for a year. What do you get? You get.
Like, what if you just on? You just have Twitch Prime. It's like, oh, as long as you have Twitch Prime, you just get an Octavia.
Twitch Prime.
Right,
done.
okay.
So, and it says it's lasting for a year, so I assume that's thing. So yeah.
Okay.
Let me hang on. I'll find it again because it popped up in my Steam.
In Steam.
In Steam. Oh, here it is. Octavia Iridos bundle. It's available from now until November 14th, 2023, which is in 353 days, and it's labeled as new. You get strike up a symphony of distraction with the Octavia Iridos bundle and add the Mistress of Melody to your arsenal, along with her stunning new chrome-themed Iridos skin and Iridos helmet, plus a Warframe slot. Items include Octavia Warframe, Octavia Iridos Deluxe skin and helmet, Octavia Iridos alternative helmet, Warframe slot.
Cool. That's there. That's the thing. Should we put a link in the description below?
Well, no, it's Twitch.
Fair. It's Twitch. There you go.
You have to have Twitch Prime to get it, so you know it's just how it is.
Right.
It's how it is.
I don't think there's anything else to
go away, Twitch. Shut up, Twitch. There we go. Sorry, what?
I don't think there's anything else to cover on the War Report, so
what, and did you do the date of the patch?
Yeah, I did say the 30th of November. It's 2 days after the live stream.
That is good.
It is good. It is done. Right, let's move on, and we'll go on straight to the topics. Right. So the topics we have for this week. The first topic is rework old quests, not what's on the tin. I read the first thing of the original post. I'm like, that's not what you freaking... Yep. The second topic is respectfully, how do people get into this game? And then the third topic, which is the concept, Baphomet, the betrayer-infested boss. Right, okay, so let's move on to the first topic. So rework old quests. DE should rework ancient events as mini-quests. The amazing lore they have built wouldn't go to waste. New players would know and learn about people that live in the universe and understand better what and why they do what they do. And for real, I still don't know how Salad V got infested then healed. Right. Well, I think to tackle the first point, the last point, no one knows how Alad V survived getting canonically thrown out a window by a mag. Like, you know, is the surface of Jupiter? Did he think like, oh yeah, there's a surface of Jupiter, right? There's this ground there, and this covered infestation.
No. Everything in it's a corpus thing. Flying out the window, there'd be some sort of safety mech which would fly down and pick you up or catch you.
No, that costs money.
Exactly.
Right.
But I'm sure it's able to recognize the difference between low-skilled worker and CEO falling out of the window.
You got a fairly valid point.
One costs more money to fix. One costs more money to replace, you see.
I think it would be nice if we hear the story of it. Right? Like, you know, Salad V just randomly turns up one day and is like, oh, did I ever tell you about that time I got thrown out a window and survived? It does feel really super weird though that I can't remember what the time difference is between Salad V and sorry, oh God, what were the two events where he got revealed and it was the release of Valkyria, and then
he got revealed technically in the Arid Fear event, because that's when he was mentioned, because the Grineer hired him to do to hide the locations and do shipments to the Grineer settlements. It was then, I think, did Gravidius come first?
After what?
Then I think it was Gravidius.
Yeah.
Because he was in that, and you could see his model.
Yeah.
And that linked to the Zanuka project. Oh my God, the Zanuka project. Which never went anywhere in the end, which is such a sad thing. That should have come back.
Yeah.
Because then he was taking apart Warframes. There was also the Hunt for Alad V. I don't know where that slotted in.
Maybe that came first. That was right after. Oh God.
Arid Fear or Gravidius? Or?
I think it was right after Gravidius, because that was the event that converted the Jupiter tile set, wasn't it?
No, Hunt for Alad V, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you got Valkyria.
Well, then you could get Valkyria.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Loz is looking these things up.
Category event. Right. Fusion Mower, Artifact Fence, Informant, Slingstone, Arid Fear, Survivor Weekend, the Gravidius Dilemma, the Hunt for Alad V.
Yeah.
Then Fave for Darvo, Cicero Crisis, Oxygen Expired, Ties that Bind, Tethra's Doom, Spectre Liberty. Right, and then Suspicious Shipments was when Alad next turned up, because he was starting to do stuff with Infested.
Was that when he was sending Corpus ships to go and but they were carrying the infestation?
Yes, and then it was Breeding Grounds, which is with Alad's new strain.
The Museless strain. Was that when you could get Mesa?
I don't think so. I think it was later, because then there's Avalanche Offensive, Quadratic Front, Back to School, Gate Crash, then Halloween, and then Mutalist Incursions.
Right. Okay.
And that's got Alad V in it.
Okay. So, yeah, it does feel like super weird. Like, you know, I don't know. Maybe they should have had it where the boss fight, he runs away or something, but... You know, yeah. I mean, but okay. So let's take it back to the main topic at hand.
Isn't this person, wasn't the point I was waiting for you to get to? Doesn't this person is worried about how did Alad get cured from being infested? Yeah, that's what they were caring about.
No.
Then for real, I still don't know how Alad V got infested, then healed. Yeah, so only got.
Well, the healed part was the Tuben of Rogor. Yeah, but we okay, fine. That is an event that has plot convenience and things like that. But regardless, I don't want these to be quests. I just put them as lore entries. Just put them in the Laverian. We've said this time and time again.
I don't know. I think I would like to see them overhaul the way they do quests and the way they do events, because I like events, and I think that Warframes, literally, in fact, I'll just, I can, you know what, actually, I'm just going to take a quick picture of this, and then you can put it up on screen because I would like this just an example. Copy that, and if I save that as meme 11. Okay, and can I have meme 11 up?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So you can see this is something. It goes. I would like to see this all. I think they're onto something here, and I would like to see the whole process redone because if I remember Warframe, the things that really stick out in my mind, it's those early years. It's as if you can see it. The top is loaded with quests there. You don't even have to look or read the names.
Events.
You can just see there's more lines of events. Yeah, there's much more lines at the top than there is at the bottom. And you can see at the top, there's like multiple. Each line is in an update, so that some of them are over multiple years. So it's a bit hard to do the whole timeline. But you can see that the top one goes from 2013 to basically about 2016 is where it kind of the last big line there on that list. And then so that's over what 3 years, and then the rest is over. The last one is 2021, but we could even do 2022 now, which we didn't have an event this year. So then since there's been a pathetic amount in the last 6 years compared to the amount they had in the first 3. Yeah. So, and it's because of the way they patch, chuck it out the door, chuck it out the door, and then it's instantly live. They don't. They could, and I know it's because of the cert process, and it's a big concept we're talking about here and bigger thing, but they could design patches to go into cert that go onto be released that contains content which isn't released right away. So they could do operations. They'd have to plan ahead.
Yeah.
But they don't. And all those events of real good story, of bits and pieces. I know we've had the thing you can say is since 2016, I don't know when did Second Dream come out?
2016.
2016, yeah, that's when the shift happened to cinematic quests. But if I had to choose now we've had several cinematic quests versus how the story was with events, which would you choose? Events, definitely, me the same. Yeah. Cinematic quests are amazing. They really are amazing, and I love them. But events was better. Yeah. Gravidius was just, that will always go back. It's the best event they ever did. But and they could have kept that style of event and reused it for, that was it. They had their perfect pocket event that they could pull out, and instead they went, and we'll make this a permanent game system that just gets boring and is just useless.
But the big important part of the events is the object permanence, right? So when an event happens, so for example, what was the one that they switched over? When they went, was it the Hunt for Allard V, right? Yes. When it was the old, I want to say it used to be the Grineer asteroid tile set.
It varied. It had both Corpus spaceship and
Grineer
asteroid tile set.
But then it just converted into nothing but the Gas City. And then
I think it also still had, no, I think you're right, it was entirely Gas City, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's so I liked that object permanence. Is like
permanent. Not for all of it. Not all events had something like that, but there are other ones as well. Let's say, like, I think, is it Tethra's Doom?
What was the object permanent? Well, the mission type.
Is that one with blowing up relays?
No,
that was the Eyes of Blight. Was that? Yeah. Eyes of Blight. They're blowing up relays. It's like cool.
But they turn around and just were like, oh no, let's not actually do that anymore. Let's just have,
again, a really cool thing they could have saved for events and done it uniquely so that it felt special, it felt active, and they just turned it into an automated system in the game that came to the point that I don't give a damn about it anymore. And then they even turned off the cool thing about it of things blowing up.
Yeah, I mean, like the dumb thing is, yeah, it was supposed to be like the Baylor Fomorians would turn up and they could threaten an actual relay. And I distinctly remember Sheldon saying that if you had less than two. If you had 2 or fewer relays, Barrow wouldn't turn up anymore.
Yeah, I think that was implying a coding issue.
Was it? I thought
it was hard to say.
It was to make it feel more alive. I mean, again, they had this huge thing that they wanted to do for the relays about having, an upper floor. Never fucking happened.
Yeah, the upper floor, which still exists there, some doesn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah. But I mean, I suppose only people that have broken into the game files would actually know what's behind those barriers.
But the problem with they explained what happened with those is that they would keep coming up with good ideas. Oh that was the dojo's excuse. I guess I don't know what happened with those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it was supposed to be. I can't remember if this is rumor or if Steve said this. There was supposed to be a system in play that allowed players to set up shops or set up something there.
Yeah, that was going to be a thing, yep.
And, the top ranking guilds or clans would actually be there and it would swap in and out and things like that. But I imagine that logistically, it would be a case of too many players whinging, saying well, when's my turn? When's my turn? When's my turn? Or there were too many guilds that were just one player. It's clans. Jesus Christ, why have I got guilds in my head? There are too many clans that are just one player or things like that. I mean, who really knows? DE really knows. But yeah, I can.
Sorry. When they did Dark Sectors, that seemed to completely burn them on the concept of giving players any agency. In fact, since then, and then I think I remember Eyes of Blight had a scoreboard system, and then after that, they never did scoreboard systems again.
No, that's not technically true, right? They did do a scoreboard system for Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, right? It's next to Samaris.
Does that ever work?
It does work, but no one does anything with it.
Oh, it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, there's, it's not get to wave 20 of Elite Sanctuary Onslaught and get a special ribbon. Get a special accolade. None of that.
Or even if you are the top slot of Sanctuary Onslaught, you get a at the week final, you get a special emblem, and it could just be a one-off thing. It's what happens if I do it many times? It's no, it's just one-off with it. Yeah, and so that way, some people will change it each week, or if you really wanted to push it, you could have it be an evolving emblem. That would people would but then they came up with the concept of an evolving emblem, and instead of making it cool and growing, they just put a number in the middle, and then they gave up doing that as well. It's just no. There's no stomach to keep going on certain issues. It's always, let's just make something new instead. And then forget about the last thing.
I would really love to know, and I'm sorry this is a brutal question to throw in their direction.
We're getting a bit mean, I know, but yeah.
I know. I would love to know how many of these systems were dropped because of the pressure from the player base to either preserve the thing or reset the thing or make special allowances for the thing, as opposed to no, this is supposed to be a temporary system. You haven't attended all of the, what was the name of it? We literally just spoke about it. Stratos Emblem?
Yeah, Stratos Emblems was the thing.
So if you don't have all the Stratos Emblem, tough titties. Right? Oh, no, but there should be a way for me to catch up. No, there shouldn't be a way for you to catch up.
No, yeah.
Right?
It is a little bit of FOMO, but it's the weakest level of FOMO ever because it's an armband.
But it feels like that any level of FOMO is loud and obnoxious. Yeah.
It's completely unacceptable games. No FOMO. But then it was also things like Scarlet Spear, I guess it was supposed to come back and you were supposed to have the ability to catch up in theory, I guess.
I'm so glad we played it the way we played it when it did come out.
We just did what we wanted and just gave up.
No. The fact that we organized the groups, we had actual proper group relay engagement and things like that, as opposed to just, try and solo it and wing it. Do you not remember how Scarlet Spear went?
Yeah, but I also did some solo stuff as well.
Yeah, that's fair. But again, Scarlet Spear coming back. Part of the problem
the thing is the operations compared to, you could say Warframe's got a great community, it really does, but at the same time, operations drew massive interest for the community to do stuff. what's the community got to do now? It's just like wait for next piece of content to consume. No, it's not.
No, I completely agree. And also, I think because of the lack of events and things, clans have been neutered, right?
Yeah.
What's the point in clans now? Well, clans are just a canvas for people to make pretty dojos, right?
Yeah.
You know, like hell, we don't even get the opportunity to have cool trophies anymore because the events have just ground to a halt.
Yeah.
I like the idea that you...
Well, I do like the trophies we have, and I know you take good pleasure in that you've got more nice displayed. It's sad that you don't have reasons to go add more, but at least those things again...
More. There's nothing more to add.
And there's nothing to add. But at the same time, though, it's nice that they mean something.
Yeah.
It is... We kind of have it as like this sort of record.
Yeah,
so to speak. You know, we can look at it and be proud and be like, "Oh yeah, look at this. It's good."
The one I'm proudest of the most is Shadow Deck because it was so damn hard to do, and nearly all the clan had to come together. Because I don't know if you remember Shadow Deck. It was the one it was the average score across the players that participated within your clan, and you had to get the cumulative average score of the players. So basically, if I'd done it 5 times or is it the top? It may have been the top, actually, top score, but it wasn't cumulative. So that meant like if I did it 5 times and did 10 rounds each, I didn't have a score of 50. I only had a score of 10, right?
Yeah.
So it was really important to have like as many players within your clan do it. And we had some players that like literally specifically logged in.
You literally called up people who hadn't played the game in like 6 months. Like,
could you please?
Please, and we'll carry you through it. Just please, just come here.
You know, and they did, and they were great to do that. But I feel that with the direction the game's gone in, it's kind of stagnated. And like it can't carry any object permanence. It's just like everything's happening at once.
Object permanence is a bit much. You mean don't say object permanence, because just object permanence refers to babies who, when they do the peekaboo, peekaboo, it's because they literally, when they don't see you, they don't understand the concept of not being existing, that is similar to this, because how many instances the things like, oh yeah, well that kind of didn't happen, right? Oh yeah, Saga Struck didn't actually really I guess
die.
There are things like well, we're not looking at them, they just don't exist, and then they exist when they appear again. There's also things like the Mike Cohens, like
well, where have they gone?
What about the Mike Cohens? Do we have to rescue them from Nama? The what?
Right. What happened to Arlo's strain of the infestation?
Yeah, okay.
That's the problem. I mean, right? There's no okay. I won't overuse the term, but yeah, it does feel that everything is a Scooby-Doo or Flintstones or Simpsons. Simpsons are the worst for this.
Yeah, we've become Simpsons. Yeah,
yes. Everything returns to the status quo
at the end of the episode to provide for next story.
Yeah. How awesome would it have been had we at the end of what's the name of the new war, right? We couldn't use our warframes for a week.
Yeah.
Right? Or we had to play as operators. I mean, granted, yeah, okay. Oh shit, what do we call her before? Fake Lotus?
Yeah.
That was the term, wasn't it? Yeah. So like, no one's gonna see Fake Lotus anymore.
Yeah.
It's
not even an option. That makes me sad.
Yeah. So
why is Fake Lotus? Wait. Why is Fake Lotus not an option on when you pick what Lotus you want? Oh, Fake Lotus.
But yeah. So I do not want to see these story points to come back as
right. No, that's what I was saying. Right. So one point I was getting at before we went through this whole trip down memory lane, is one thing they've constantly said, they've brought up in many dev streams, is the way quests are in the game.
They're jank.
Not very good. They're jank, yeah. And it's the same reason why trials were turned off, is because the jankness. And I would like to see them, it's like, right, can you, from the ground up, redo these systems so that, excuse me, so operation, that you can do events again, and they then turn into quests, or there is a replayable version that at least allows you to experience it. You can't get any of the rewards, but at least you can experience it. So that then they can make quests as events, and they don't give the exclusive rewards for doing it at a time, but then you can have it's like even new Warframes could be done in it, but you still can get the Warframe, but you just don't get the, I don't know, the weapon skin or the arm badges or whatever, so that there's you still have that cool event that brings people together, and the statue obviously for the dojo, but then you combine those two things to make it the quests become events, instead of losing that whole aspect of the game. So for previous events, maybe they can't redo them. Maybe that's too much effort, and it'd be a massive overhaul, and they'd have to be like, right, well, that'll be it'll take us an entire year of games content, and we just can't afford to do that because it's not gonna drive engagement for the game while we're redoing all these quests.
I'm sorry, I need to apologize. I'm watching the footage of this disruption, and I'm getting super angry. I didn't pay full attention. So what are you proposing as the solution?
Well, I would like them from the ground up to go redo quests and events into one unified system, so that we can have the cool events that Warframe was. It's what built Warframe in the original part of the game. I don't know people that realize it. It's like that was what built Warframe. That's what made people want to support it, and gave all those Prime accesses and those founders packs, was this kind of event style thing. They don't do it anymore, but I would like them so that event quests, they design a quest, but a quest is an event, and it gets released, and it is done, and it has time limited stuff, but then it turns immediately into a quest because it's been designed like that from the ground up, so people can replay it, or later people can actually do that part of the game. However, there is unique part of rewards that you only get if you did it at the time of release. So you combine those two things instead of the events, which I don't even know if they're ever going to do another event, and quests, which seem to be ridiculous and broken system. And so you redo the system from the ground up, make a system where it will be a permanent quest, and they can just be mini events. And they don't have to do bloody motion capture. Sorry, I think the motion capture is what did it. Things like that. It's just like, if you want to go make movies, go make movies. But at some point, you have to make a bloody video game, and that's what you did at first. And I'm going to becoming mean now. So Oh, and I would say, and then I was saying about this person, saying about redoing these quests. But then, if they did that, it would probably take them a year of gameplay. And they say, right, well, it'll take us so long to redo all these previous events that's it. You're not going to get. Yeah, they'll take us. If we do, we'll have to do this and nothing else for a year, and the game will die because we won't get any engagement. But so it's like we can't do that. So I'd be like, fine, cut my losses. But moving forward, having a better system.
So I'm genuinely wondering, because if you think about it, it's been a long ass time since we've had. I really hope you can just turn around and say, nope, you've forgotten about this one. I can't remember the last time we had a quest that was multiplayer.
I will have to get up the list of quests. I don't know. So give me a sec. Just
maybe Chains of Harrow, but definitely the end of it was single player.
I don't even know if this is in order. Awakening, the Force Prize, Man of Few Words, Size Visual, Voxelarish, Heart of Deimos, Wave Rider, I guess? That doesn't really count, though.
No.
Deadlock Protocol, no. Howl of the Kubro, Once Awake, The Arcwing, Stolen Dreams, Limbo Theorem, New Strange, Nata, Second Dream, Octavia's Anthem, Sons of Anairos, The Silver Grove, Patient Zero. That's the Infested LV one. Jordas Precept, Hidden Messages, The War Within, The Glass Gambit, Mask of the Revenant, Chains of Harrow, Apostasy Prologue. Chains of Harrow, I think, was?
That's what I just said. But definitely not the end. Definitely not the end.
I thought it was the end. Oh, yeah, maybe. Apostasy Prologue, The Sacrifice, Rising Tide, Call of the Tempestari, maybe Rising Tide. Call of the Tempestari?
No, that wasn't.
No. Chimera Prologue, Era, The Maker, The New War, Veilbreaker, Angels of Zariman. Angels of Zariman? Angels of Zariman.
No. Was it?
Yeah, because it was basically just missions.
No, it was single player tutorial.
No, it wasn't. It was missions. It wasn't a single player at all. No,
because you couldn't see other players until you'd finished the quest.
Not on the missions.
Yeah, on the missions. It was solo.
I don't think so.
I'm very sure it was.
I doubt the.
Because basically, after you
not even replayable.
After you finish the quest, because you couldn't go into the Zariman until you had finished the quest line, right? And then the holdfasts weren't populating the environment until you'd done each mission for the first time, and they gave you the whole tutorial spiel of the whole thing. Yeah, no, honestly, that was single player.
But go for it if you say so. I don't really have any. I know that obviously the player area wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. But yeah, okay. To be honest, it wouldn't be surprised because it'll fit in with everything else and the consistent logic of it all. So yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe their quest system has been retailored to be a soloable experience, just to remove some of the potential jank of the cinematic like events. Does that make sense? So things like, do you remember with The War Within where the operator faces were like imploding?
Oh yes.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if basically they've taken the direction to make them solo only because of things akin to that. So they're making it so that they don't have to tailor the quest experience at any point for more than one person, or just one person. It just makes their development process a lot easier. That is my theory. I could just be talking shit out my ass. So my concern of you saying why not actually convert the event into a quest immediately, I'm wondering if the game engine can even would the game engine be able to have a multiplayer experience with that anymore? Because I suspect that it won't.
Do you think maybe for the Switch?
Potentially for the Switch. Potentially just because it's just, oh no, screw it. It's just easier this way. I mean, I think the most noticeable one moving forward was the Sacrifice. I think the Sacrifice was the biggest one that was just like, there's no other Tenno, and they quite easily could be.
There's also secondary. Well, no. No, what do you mean that they easily could be? There should be or could be?
Could be.
Well, it could be in every quest.
Not with the War Within. Because...
Well, only because... No, but it doesn't make sense. No, even then. Like, it doesn't... The problem is this... I've got a bit of my tongue. This sort of storyline emerges where it's you are the only Tenno that woke up. Okay. You are the only one. You are the chosen one. Lotus comes to help you. The Stalker comes after you. Mm-hmm. The Queens somehow want you, and there's no other... They didn't just go, oh, God, this one's a bit tricky. Well, we'll just go for one of the other Tenno. Mm-hmm. No, it has to be you, which doesn't really make sense unless you are the only one.
No, I completely agree with you. Like, thematically, lore-wise, plot-wise, yes, no, I'm in agreement with you. But in The War Within, because the majority of it resides in your head, it doesn't make sense for there to be other Tenno, right?
Well, no, it would. There'd just be aspects of your imagination.
Oh, fine. I can
that's totally fine.
Yeah. Okay, fine. It would be a bigger rework than.
No, you just put all the missions again.
Anyway. This is all besides the point. I think that they would really struggle to do that. I honestly think just have the events the way they've always been, and just go, I'm sorry if you're not present for the event, you're not present for the event, right?
And then that's fair enough. Yeah,
we have historical stuff that happened hundreds of years ago. Do you want to be able to relive that?
I wish to relive the Magna Carta.
I wish to sail across the seas with shit. Oh fuck, what's his name? Christopher Columbus. Why? I'd rather read it from a book and have the comfort of my own home and central heating.
Well, okay. Well, on those, there's a debate because we don't have good records of the event. We didn't have the ability to print screen or record videos for YouTube. Mm-hmm. So we don't. That's the thing is, Christopher Columbus. There's a lot of controversy over the Christopher Columbus narrative. So.
Well, not okay. Maybe I picked the wrong person.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, my whole point is that we don't really want to relive past events now. Oh, okay, fine. World War II. There you go. Do you want to relive that?
I want to fight in World War II. Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. Yeah.
So right, okay. I think event happens. The variant entry, so you can hear about it from, I can't remember the person's name. He says it every single time, and then, let bygones be bygones. Let's move on with our existences. Yeah?
Yeah, I like the variant entry. I think because it would give them a reason to do more variant entries. That they wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
It would encourage people to learn about the game, and maybe you could come up with a special, again, a lore cosmetic that expands from if you read the Lore Keeper or whatever, because you went and read all the variant entries about previous events.
Yeah.
So it can keep expanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Work forwards.
Yeah. Right. Shall we move on to the replies?
Sure. Let's have a look. Add the mini quests and make them required for the quests they relate to. A friend of mine secretly joined semi-recently joined Warframe. They went through the War quest, and while cool, they noticed a lack of war. It started, and then it was lost, and then one kid usurped the whole thing, and everything went back to normal. They had the required Railjack and Necromech, but they never fought a sentient anomaly and missed all the limited time events. For more veteran players who experienced the build-up to the war, the pacing that first hints of sentience was a long time ago due to the quest release times. Then the introduction of Railjack with sentient anomalies and Murex. Then Scarlet Spear, showing an actual invasion attempt on Earth. The Orphix Venom, showing an assault on Grenadier Corps structures with new anti-Warframe tech. But for my friend, none of that. There was no build-up to the war. It started, it ended, and it got reverted all in a few hours. Yeah, I literally I've got a massive script somewhere, which I haven't finished, which is just a dig at the new war. I do feel they have, at least in some ways, I wouldn't say they've alleviated, but they've kind of, what's it called? Veilbreaker. Veilbreaker has brought in a few points, but not in a good way, really. Like, Sentient's still there, and they're just, I don't know, gormless. That, error still exists. But this person makes a really good point that there was no war in the new war. The new war, for this person as well, I mean, it would have to be worked, I guess, but I wanted the new war to be a 6-month-long event. Mm-hmm. And then for people who, once it's passed, I guess you just have to do X many missions in the converted universe, the solar system under thingy control. Instead, you don't. You just fight the Archons, that's it. It's like, fucking hell, it's just so weak. It's like, it was such a build-up. And it had to, I do appreciate that it had a lot of ground to cover. Mm-hmm. But,
well, I think part of the problem is they're trying to adapt and apply a single-player story to a game as a service, right? It doesn't.
Yeah, well, no, that's the problem. Is that when it went from all those events worked because you were one in the crowd, mm-hmm. and maybe you were some of the elite crowd, mm-hmm. but you were still one in the elite crowd. That's the best you could be. Mm-hmm. You were never singled out.
Yeah,
that Tenno did this.
Yeah.
And then they changed it because of the cinematic quests. And early on, I think, I've still got it saved in many places. And I'm bringing it up. I did get my question on the Do you remember when I got this? My question on DevStream.
Yeah.
And Steve went, yeah, that's a really good point. And then he never addressed it in any of his later stuff. They just kept doing the holy single player Tenno who's going to save the solar system story.
Yeah.
And it's a big problem because it just doesn't gel.
I mean, the part of the problem is that with the plot of the Tenno, right? The quadrilogy, I don't know if it's a trilogy or what anymore, but the whole cinematic quest line, realistically, it's designed to be a historical event. Right?
Yeah.
But the problem with it being a historical event is that it needs to have happened already.
Well,
it's like...
Explain.
So, for example, right, it's like you start World War II, right? You get conscripted, and then you're fighting Adolf Hitler. I was like, how is this a world war? I literally signed up 2 minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
It's there's no war, right? And realistically, the new war has happened for everyone else. The new war is something that new players should... Do you know what? The best experience I can think of that realistically reshaped the world, right? Hint, where current events have prevented you from doing past events.
COVID?
World of Warcraft Cataclysm. Right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so all of the vanilla stuff gone, right? Some references to it, sure.
Well, there are classic servers now.
Well, yeah, okay, fine.
But even then, they're kind of dead. So yeah, they still don't have that experience that was lost.
Yeah. So the whole thing has just like, right, okay, well, this is no longer a plot narrative anymore, right? This plot narrative happened X many years ago and is no longer replayable, right? And that effectively should be what the new war is, right? This plot narrative has happened. You're coming into the world now. It means that the war's coming on.
Yeah, the new war should have been a event. It shouldn't have been a quest. Yeah, because the problem with the other problem with single player is you have to, seeing as you are the key person. There's no experience outside of what you saw and did.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with an event, it's like, okay, I did this tiny bit, but there was all these other people fighting off all this stuff at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I only saw my bit. But if it's when you are the Tenno and it's like, right, well, where was the war? I didn't experience it. It's just a single player story through my view.
Mm-hmm.
But where was it? And it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a large part of the problem. Hell, a part of me is tempted to say, like, why not have it that you start, so you do the, oh God, what's the name of the, I can't, not Chimera's prologue, it's the one after that. Basically, the beginning, the prologue to New War. Thank you, Jesus Christ. So you do the prologue to New War, and then you can't do, like, any quests for 6 months, because you're fighting the war.
Well, commit, right? If that's how it's going to be, commit to it. They have to actually, you have to commit to it. And it's like, well, that's like, oh, well, that's a weird thing for gameplay. Well, what you could do, and I was thinking about how they do it, is that you have it. You can be like, oh, but then I couldn't play it. I could miss out on, in that 6 months, I'll miss out on other content and other events that happen. And what it could be is that you unlock a second solar system, which you play solo, and you have to you're fighting the war by yourself. But at any point, you can sort of, through eternalism, you could say, you come out of that and you just get access to your normal Warframe thing.
I think that should be a permanent decision, right? I think, right, let's have it that you start in, so you've done the prologue to New War, and then you start seeing like the actual wartime events and everything like this. But then it isn't until you choose to effectively skip forward to do the new war, right, in eternalism, that,
But what does the new war mean? What does that, you want this whole lock-in for 6 months thing still?
No, well, you can't then, because otherwise you can't do Deviri, you can't do the Angels of the Zarin, you can't do...
What do you mean? What?
You can't do Veilbreaker, you can't do any of this new stuff until you've done the new war. right? So either you're locked into waiting until that content becomes available to you, or it is as it is now. It is as it is now. You can't, okay, so in this instance, you can't have your cake and eat it. The best thing that they can do is you start the prologue to New War, and then, missions are different. But then you start...
No, you don't at all, right? The game exists as it is now, and V comes or whatever, but the New War is a special quest that once you start that quest, it attaches this separate thing onto the side, and it's a massively long story, and that's like your journey and experience of the New War, but at any point, so that you can still play with your friends, you can still do anything, you can sort of come out of that, but you see it, it's like, when you go into it, you push a button, it's like and they do it in World of Warcraft, when you can see the old Undercity, you go to a portal and you time travel to the Undercity thing.
I just want to check with you, but in that you surely can't do what's called the Angels of the Zerman. You can't do...
I would count that as a post quest for New War, yeah. Yes, but that's how it is now. That's how the system is now.
Yeah.
But I would just make New War this massive thing, and it is now. You have to do quests to finish to get the next quest. Yeah, definitely.
So players can...
But that's how I would have wanted New War, but it's not like that at all.
So players can branch off in this weird thing, but they can't do any of the new content post New War until they have completed the New War.
Yeah, but that's my thing. But instead, the New War is what it is big. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. Long. It's not a war. It's I think 5 hours. I think if you rush it, it just. I tried doing it. I was recording it for my weird ridiculous thing, and it's huge. It's really really big. But at the same time, it's not really big, and it's not really a war.
No, I think a large part of the problem is that there should have been prologue to New War, which starts the whole thing, then conclusion of the New War, right?
Yeah, there should. I mean, I would have liked it as an event to lead up to the New War, but we suppose you had a couple of those, but there still wasn't. And there needed to be one more event, which was showing the Corpus and Grineer working together, but maybe a mini of. They should have done quests like they did Oxium. They're like in events as easy as Oxium Espionage. They should have just gone, okay, well, we're gonna have these weedy quests leading up to it that you can do, but they're nothing. They're not. Full quest, but
it's not just that, but we should also see just the sentience in the bloody origin system.
Yeah.
Right? We should see Nama coming out of the woodwork, but instead we don't. We just have, and then the...
Oh, yeah, that whole cutscene of and then the Tenno failed.
No, not that. It's just and then the Tenno had brought together two rivaling factions to fight against.
You mean that?
When?
Yeah. And there's I think there's lines from Ballas at the start, and he's like, "Oh, this flimsy alliance of yours." It's like, what alliance? Yeah. Or it's I don't think it's that actually. I think it's also in the text log at the start. It's like a flimsy alliance. When did that happen?
Yeah. So,
but sadly, I think it's because that was the content we were working on for that December, and so we had to release the content because we had no other content to release, and we had to release it for the shareholders.
I think maybe with all the patches in between prologue to New War and the New War, or maybe even Chimera's prologue, we just start seeing more appearances of sentience in the star chart. We start seeing Nama appear mid-missions, just there's an incursion team, it's Nama. What's a Nama? It just start making the environment feel more alive. But the problem is, they wrote it like a single player experience and made it, in name at least, sound more grandiose than it actually was.
Yeah.
So...
Well, but I think this person example, this I know we've gone for a long thing. That's one person. It really shows that they need to address this. For veteran players, when we had the long lead up to it of Scarlet Spear and what was the other one, Orphix Venom, they at least did some scene setting. But even then, they still felt like very tentative early things. They never felt like the actual arrival and the setting up for that, and it should have been this year-long thing, and instead it was just this sort of, here's some content, doesn't work.
But also think about what we had in between. right? We also had oh god, what's the name of the damn thing? Deadlock Protocol, right? We had Chimera's Prologue and other quests between Chimera's Prologue and Bloody New War, right? So there are events that happen in plot that are like, okay, so the Corpus changing their entire system. Parvos Granum coming out of the woodwork. Deimos appears, right?
Yeah.
There's other stuff that happens in between, and it just feels New War.
When they announced the Deviri trailer, and then we got things like Deimos and New War, it really feels like that maybe they were working on 3 massive projects at once. Because the fact they moved on to Deimos, when we both think Deimos should have come after New War.
Deimos should have definitely come after New War.
Yeah.
I am glad.
There's a lot of voice acting. There's a world. There's I
mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think it justifies that they weren't involved. I at least like the fact that Daughter raises what the Entrati were doing in the Veilbreaker, right?
That's one of the points I raised in my massive. It was going to be a stupidly long video.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I feel that's just like such a weak cop out.
It is.
It's nice that the characters address it, but it's like, for instance, in the Marvel films at the moment, where you've got the blip, and sometimes the blip is not addressed. And it's like, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, why are they barely talking about this? And then also you've got the Eternals. I don't know if you've seen is it Eternals?
Yeah, I never bothered.
Yeah. Do you know in that, in theory, according to that film, there should be because there's an Eternal in Earth, or there's one of those giant people in Earth.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're, but it starts coming out, and they do show you this shot of one of the oceans, like the Atlantic Ocean or something, with part of its head and a hand coming out, and that should now be canon for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So all the other films should be oh yeah, we're going to deal with that giant hand and head coming out of the ocean, or someone should make a joke about it, but it's clearly forgotten about, and that's how it feels for Warframe when
I never knew. Well, I didn't know about that plot.
I've never seen the film. I should probably go and watch it. But I've seen pictures of it, and it's this happens in it. So that should be explained, and why does
it should be canonical? It should be respected.
The whole point of the Marvel Universe is canonical. Well, but that's the thing. It's so it's at least it's something, but it is the weakest thing of a character going, oh yeah, we should have been doing something during this time period, but we didn't because Dad said no.
I mean, you do know
you addressed it at least.
You know that the director wanted to destroy the Earth at the end of the movie of the Eternals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just yeah, I wonder why they didn't want that.
You get these movie authors I want to do this thing. It's but the whole thing about this is consistency. Yes, but it is my vision to do this thing.
Anyway, sorry. Let's continue with the replies and.
Yes, back to the replies. So where did we get up to? Sorry, that one reply. But I do feel this one thing about this person's friend really highlights a big issue.
No, it really does.
I mean, I know Warframe has been an amazing journey, and it's going to be 10 years. It's wow. And I do compare it to Destiny. Destiny 1. Was it Destiny 2 said they were going to do this? But Destiny 2 is actually... No, sorry, I think Destiny 1 said that, but then they made Destiny 2. And don't get me wrong, Destiny 2 has actually resurrected itself, apparently, since it came away from Blizzard.
Well, but what? Destiny 2?
Oh,
Activision.
Well, it's Activision. Yeah. They came away. And it seems that I've seen... I don't know if you've seen some, the video movies thing, but at the same time, it does feel, though I think Warframe's amazing, they do... It's just seeing that... It's like they built a bridge, but they built the bridge... We're going to build a bridge. And they just sort of put one thing in front of the next. And as they went, they discovered how to build a better bridge. And then the next thing, somebody just said, hey, this bridge should be cool and had advertising. And so eventually they're still building a bridge, and it's almost reached the other side, 10 years kind of thing.
Well,
but it started out as this cool, useful, efficient, but probably not the best bridge. But now it's a bridge about it's a bit wonky and all over the place because
I think the biggest problem for the reason why we had Destiny 2 versus just Destiny is just simply because of Activision. It was but we need more money. It was but but we're just going to treat this as a game as no, but we need more money. It was how are we going to make more money if you don't make it 2?
Yeah.
And then again, I remember after they'd released 2, immediately there was an announcement for 3.
There was starting to be announced for 3, yeah. And it does show now how we've got bloody Overwatch 2.
There's nothing in it.
There's just nothing in it. And it's like, yeah, but it's got to be a 2. And they're like, but it's got to be free. It's like, yeah, but make money.
Okay, please tell me you've seen the girlfriend reviews of Overwatch 2.
No? Well, I'll have to watch that afterwards.
Right, it's not the number 2, it's the word TOO.
Oh, as in they also...
It's Overwatch 2!
Oh, it's Overwatch 2, I get it.
So it's still Overwatch.
Yeah, we'll have to watch afterwards. Anyway, sorry, I'll go back to replies as distracting. Next one. As someone who played with the events, I still think the new war felt like it lacked the war. The events were prelude. God, hearing these people say these things makes me go, maybe I should write my thing a year after New War came out. Anyway, I got to the point where actually... So yeah, I was going to replay New War to do it, and I was going to play it through twice, and that just took so long. I think that's when I stopped. Maybe I should do that. Anyway, as someone who played the events, I still think the New War felt like it lacked the war. The events were prelude. We missed the war entirely.
No, I completely agree. There was no war in the New War.
There was no war.
There was no. I think the problem was they were so reliant on Scarlet Spear actually being a success. And
yeah, so they were going to do more with that, yeah.
It wasn't a success at all. It didn't plan out the way they wanted it to. Squad linking didn't work the way they wanted it to. So I think the problem is they pulled the plug on Squad Link too early, and they should have continued to work on it.
Maybe there's stuff we will never know about how it just didn't work. But if it just didn't work, it was able to... If the event concluded, they didn't have to stop the event because of complete technical failure. But yeah, I do remember when Squad Link was announced that I remember thinking afterwards, Steve was kind of like, this is... No, it was about Railjack, saying like, this is going to be the big thing. Squad Link, this is going to be our...
I think, no, Railjack was this big thing. Squad Link barely got a look in.
I know, but I do remember him saying about Squad Link because at the picnic the day after, and he was saying like, this is going to be a really big thing, and we feel this is going to be unique and bring stuff, and obviously it just didn't work. Must be on some fundamental level. It must be like, okay, this just about survived, but if we do this in any other way, it's we can't do this in a more fun way. It has to do this is the only way it's going to work, and it is stressing the servers or it maybe cost wise or something. You're never going to know. But instead of abandoning that concept and then doing nothing, they should have abandoned that concept and gone, right, well, we're going to come up with other ways. But hindsight, whatever. Next one. It is horrible how much lore is behind all events that are never coming back. The story does feel like it jumps all over the place, especially early on.
It's throughout the whole thing. It's not just early on, it's just throughout the whole thing.
No, they say it jumps all over the place, especially overall. They are saying it does all
I thought you said especially early on. Sorry.
They do say especially early on, but they're not saying it doesn't do it later.
Oh, fair.
But they're saying especially early on that, and I can appreciate that, is that you get Alice V just appears and whatever, and then he's infested and he's not, and then I mean, yeah, come on, there's no the event where he becomes the uninfesting of him is an event with no other point in a quest where they barely talk about it. It just happens.
Well, do you remember in the second dream, Alad talks to you about, I will expect my payback, you owe me for this Tenno, so on and so forth, right? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Do you remember what the payback was?
Us helping him in Tubin.
No. It was Shoutout.
Defending him. Was it Shoutout? Defending him from...
Yes, it was defending him from the Acolytes.
Why were we defending him from the Acolytes?
Well, Stalker sent the Acolytes after him as he helped us during the course of Second Dream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he was running around because I'm pretty sure...
Oh, no, because he's healed.
Tubin and Vragor happened before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was
I think that's why he decided to help us, yeah, because I remember there's also lines about the Snooker Project as well, which... Oh, do you remember the days when, like, the Sudoku project was like, oh my god, this cool project. Yeah. Oh my god, there's this thing made of Warframes. Yeah. That's so cool. And, like, maybe we could start using Warframe powers, and then this is going to evolve, and they'll be, like, into the next stage of the Sudoku project. It's like, no, you just choose Infested. Anyway, moving on. Slingstone needs to be its own quest. New players have no clue why the Grinean Corpus are at war. Slingstone's not about the Grinean Corpus. What?
Okay. Moving on.
What? No, hang on. Slingstone. Slingstone was the one that we didn't. We when we started and we were told we couldn't do it. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Even though there was a thing on Mercury, which was the first planet back then, for like doing the lowest level, as in, hey, new players, you can do this, but we were told, oh, you can't do that yet. So we were like, oh, we were good boys, and we chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that, it was an event weekend. God damn it. I still have alpha and gamma infectors from that.
Fair.
But I don't get why. Oh, the Grineer Empire is preparing a major fortress against the Corpus. Band together in a special sabotage mission to destroy more ships deployed by the Grineer, which will play in Corpus region this weekend.
But why?
Honourable, the dogs are barking again. They somehow figured out we have been stockpiling. This upsets them, given how we've been tightening the leash on their contracts. The sisters are demanding we lower our material prices or suffer retribution by some new super ship they have. Obviously, they do not teach economics at obedience training. My recommendation, raise the prices, call the dogs bluff, and laugh when the imaginary Fomorian ships do not show up, and do not disrupt our stockpiles, Alad V, Grineer Relations. Oh no, it was a Slingstone who was named first. Wow, okay. There's actually 3 little videos on, they are on YouTube still, I think. Are they still on YouTube? Yes. That were like, this is all just for a 1 weekend event. Yeah, no, I can get behind it. Yeah. Yeah, because back then, the way that they set it up, it's like the Corpus were kind of, though the Grineer were everywhere, and the bigger issue that Lotus woke us up for, the Corpus were kind of like, had them by the proverbials, because, you know, they were the suppliers of resources. So that's kind of where this is kind of hinting. And obviously, the Grineer wanted to get underneath, out from underneath the foot of the Corpus, and that's Slingstone needs to be sent quest. New players have no clue with the Grineer Corpus at war. Yeah, that's a good point.
I wouldn't say new quest. I just give me a Lavarian entry that explains that. Yeah,
Lavarian entries for all this would be perfect. I know all this talking we've just done. I don't know how long we've gone for, but Lavarian would be a perfect thing for it. Anyway, the missing event lore. Last point. This is the missing event lore does add some confusion. Salad V is just the worst part since his in-game story takes place out of order now in relation to the main quest / star chart progression.
Sorry. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Salad V is the worst part since his game story takes place out of order now in relation to the main quest. Yeah, it does. It's just all over the place. I don't even, it's just, Right, that's it for that topic. Yeah, I don't even know if you could rework our quest. I think you'd literally need to make a Warframe 2 to fix the past stuff when it comes to that.
Not just that, but I think with Warframe 2, you could fix things like, make a real dedicated effort to making quests more buildable, right? The team can actually put quests together easier. They could put events together easier, so on and so forth. They've learned a lot, but sometimes you build too much on the foundation cracks. You need to start with a fresh foundation.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it was Scott was mentioning about quests being an issue, and they kept saying how we're going to rework quests, and then there'll be a Milm raising, and then they just, I suppose eventually we got cinematic quests for that, but they did say about reworking them so that events could be quests in the future as well. That was brought at one point years ago, and that never went over. But I guess also another quote, I don't have the things it is from this, but I do remember when Scott said in a dev stream, they thought people were going to play this game for about 10 hours most, and then people would stop playing it. It was just supposed to be a little third person, you go on ships and you shoot stuff, and you get your better gear and your space pirates, and that was it. And they were shocked when people just kept playing and kept playing and kept playing.
But I think the big thing with Warframe is it offers a gameplay experience that most other games do not approach. Like no other game has a movement system like Warframe, and that speaks volumes. Right.
No, it didn't start with that though.
No, we didn't. But again, the gunplay experience, right? The constant fighting of enemies, the procedurally generated environments, right? All of that led to a really enjoyable experience, and they just kept on iterating on top of it, making it more and more viable.
Before any of that, I mean, the core gameplay of the original what we released was minimal. So I don't. But the one thing at first that was the most important starting point was the universe that was imagined. That's the most important thing. It's why the Warhammer 40,000 universe is just so is becoming now is starting to grow in a descendancy of the effect it has and the importance. I imagine at some point we'll probably see we may even see at some point a proper big budget Hollywood film, made for the 40k universe.
I really hope so. But as long as it's done right, as long as it's
done
right,
yeah,
I just realised what I said.
Yeah, I was going to say. But no. My point is that it's because they had it's taken years to get to this point, but they had a great setting to start with, and it stuck to its guns on what that setting means. And I think Warframe had an equally great sci-fi setting to start with, and I just feel that they need to deliver on that, and then it's like the time came to deliver on what the core fundamental thing of what this universe they created, which was beautiful at first, like the potential ideas that it had was inspiring people, and it's like, right, it's time to deliver on the war in Warframe.
Mm-hmm.
No, I remember when Guerrilla's Dilemma was previewed, one of the things Steve said is this is going to put the war back in Warframe, and though it did for Guerrillas, when it just became and this just happens now, it didn't.
It neutered it.
Yeah, and then the new war did not put any war into Warframe.
One question I do have for you though is, both you and I really enjoy both really enjoy the gunplay elements to Destiny, right? Destiny 2.
Oh yeah. We should. By the way, we should go back to playing a bit of Destiny now and at some point. Oh no, we've got our own.
No,
we got a better shooter now.
We got Darktide.
We got
Darktide. You can need that soap.
Well, when Destiny finishes, or they decide that the story is finished, I will go and play it and finish the story, because I have watched it. What do you mean?
They've taken loads of it out.
Oh, I know. But the newer stuff they haven't. We're the stuff we've played up to still in the game. The next bit.
Oh, right.
If we got in, we would still be able to. If we remembered what we are, we can continue.
Did we finish the one that we were on?
Yeah.
What was Shadowkeep?
That was the weird thing. I don't really remember what Shadowkeep was. There was like a ship. There was like a big ship, and we did finish it. We got to the point where it was like, or I don't know, maybe there was going to be more, or there was going to be ongoing content for it. But there was like do you remember there was one of the big black ships, and we were doing stuff about it, and then it wanted us to like. I think it was a moon. It was a moon. I don't think it was the moon.
I thought it was the moon.
Was it the moon? I don't know. But remember, we had to like investigate it and things. We did finish that one, but there wasn't much to it.
Anywho. I think that's right. Let's should we move on to the next topic, because we're meandering around this one topic for a long ass time. Right? Okay.
Well, it's actually the problem is
a lot of meat.
There's a lot of meat in there, and we could probably do episodes on this whole thing, just discussing, bringing guests in to talk about their own views. I'm sure we could go through the entire reply list on this thing, and it's because it's kind of the core to Warframe at the moment, and it needs
right.
I think the last point I'll say on it is I think we're all hoping on Deviri to show us the path forward. So if we're all whinging about the past and this, that, the other, I'm sorry, I've got hopes are high, and it has to be expectations as well, that Deviri is going to be the path forward from here on.
I think your expectations are too high, because remember, it's not the end of the game that they're releasing it. They're releasing it much earlier.
No, but
it's the paradox.
What do you mean?
The gameplay experience of Deviri happens before.
No, that's fine, but it'll also happen afterwards as well.
Fair, right?
Yeah.
Right. Should we move on to topic 2? Right. Okay. This one may not be as long. Right. Okay. So respectfully, how do people get into this game? Warframe is sick. Loads of fun with some of the best gameplay I've ever seen. But how do people get into this game? I played this game for a couple of hours on PlayStation. Like I said, tons of fun. But I continue to reach points where I keep getting lost. There's so much to do, so many missions, so much grinding, and whenever I think of that, I lose motivation to play the game. I can fully appreciate that.
Yep, I agree as well.
I think the biggest contributor to this has been the horizontal course of progression compared to the vertical course. And by that, I mean you can do any of these majillions of things. Yeah, majillion, even bigger than a gajillion. What's called majillions of things, and as a result, you're not able to make any form of progression.
It's
what it feels like.
It's tricky. It doesn't give you that feeling of you do this and then you do this and you do this and this is your next thing to do. Mm-hmm. But the problem is they and we have said this in the past, and I honestly hope at some point they do go and fix this. Mm-hmm. They still don't go back and look at the content and say, right, well, how long do we expect a new player to do on this? Mm-hmm. How long should a new player be able to get access to a Zor, all the Zors, all the kit guns? Mm-hmm. And I know we say at least for Elise, but to be honest, at this point, I think you should expand to all the reps on the previous things. Is there should be no daily caps.
Oh, so if a player,
no, the syndicate's separate. The syndicates are separate because they don't give you access. All they give, first of all their stuff is tradable.
Sure.
So if you really want anything from syndicates, and secondly, there's nothing locked behind like quests or missions on getting the syndicates up. Sure. The syndicates are just there, you know. Mm-hmm. So syndicates don't count, but all of the mission, the planet ones now, mm-hmm. both reps now. It's been so long, and you kind of need the stuff. The amps and things.
Right. Yeah. So you said both reps, and it confused me a little bit.
Because before all the planets have 2 reps. Yeah. Apart from Zariman doesn't have 2 reps. Does
he? Has 1.
No. Right.
But it's not.
Keep Zariman's because that's the newest thing. Mm-hmm. But all of the other planets need their daily caps removed, so that a new player comes in and they say, "Oh, okay, so there's this Earth thing, and I'm doing this Earth stuff." And it's like, "Okay, I'm getting resources. Oh, and I can upgrade. Oh, wow, I've made some progress. I upgraded them. Oh, well, I'm enjoying this playing here. What do I need to do? Oh, I can get to the next tier. I've got a couple of those fish. Oh, okay, if I play a bit more now on this plat, I can unlock the next tier." And then they log off and they come back the next day, and then and they go, "Oh yeah, look, I played on the Earth loads, and to the point that I repped up to them loving me, and then look, I made this Zor on the Earth. Okay, well I can't go away now," and they actually feel like they've done something. Instead, the game goes, "No, you have obtained all you are for today. Go away." But what?
That what you're saying. First off, yep. I would change it so that after the first 3 months, right, you get a 25% increase to your max daily rep, right? Then after 6 months, 50%.
Oh, no. Sorry. So I just want to change so for people listening, because I think I know what you're trying to say here. But you're implying for when, let's say, a new open world comes out, the system going forward.
Yes. So a brand new open world comes out.
Because the way you said that...
Yeah, apologies. 3 months
could be like a new player has to wait 3 months.
No, 3 months after it's released.
Hang on. I'll start you off. So Xeno is stating so that when let's say a new open world started on the Taviri. Okay, well let's come up with another one. The underwater plains of where is it? Ceres?
Uranus.
When and that comes out, and then
we've got 3 months after that, right? You get an increase to your daily cap. Everyone globally will get the ability to get an extra 25% rep on the factions for that planet. Then after 6 months, it goes up to 50%. 9 months, it goes up to 75%. And then a year, there's no cap anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
So obviously, yeah, you might think that's a long time, but
the reason
it's fine, yeah.
Do you realize why I'm doing this?
It's so that you don't completely invalidate the content really quickly, and you have it so that it's an automated system. This is where they should be implementing an automated system, so they don't have to think about it. It just is right. That's the now path for it, and so they don't have to come back and play with it. It's just going to happen. They don't have to have a meeting. They don't have anything. It's like, right, it's this point. Do that effect. Patch that now. So it's already confirmed.
It's also to dampen the mentality from players of, well, I might as well just wait X period of time, and then
it's all done in one go. So it's like, okay, well, I did a little bit of it, but I'll come back in 6 months. Or yeah. So,
but here's the thing, though: you could come back, you could just wait 3 months, and then you get an extra 25%.
Yes, some people might do that. Yeah, some people might be like, okay, this is a bit too much restrictive. I'm not really focused. I'll play that other game now. I'll come back in 3 months, and a little boost is good enough for me.
Right.
So that's on the caps just for that rep on that new thing that comes out. But but all the past reps now at this point remove the
100%. Like they're past that. Except for, as you said, the Zariman. At this point in time, we would be
75% ish.
Ish, yeah, 6 months to 9 months.
We're almost at the no cap. It's
yeah. Sorry, no, not a no cap is April.
April. Yeah, we're getting towards the scale.
So we're getting there. We're getting there. But so shit. Where was I going with this? The other thing I would seriously do. Zariman is fine as it is because it's locked behind the new war, right? But Osterons and Fortuna, right? They Cetus and Fortuna, they need to be tiered, right? It is you get to fucking Cetus before you fucking do anything in the game. It's too soon. And then players just like, go out on the plains then. I'm confused. I'm lost. Right?
Right, no, but if you remove the daily cap, at least then a player can go like, oh, wow, I've reached a thing. Right, I guess I'm here to play now for a bit. What have I got to do? Okay, I go to the vendors. Oh, okay, I can build guns here. Okay, well, I'll play this now. This will be my thing. Instead, the game goes, no, you have acquired your 12,000 rep for today. Go away.
No.
Is that enough for me to rep up? No, you'll need 3 more days.
I do agree with you, right? But my point is, we've always said at the end of War's Prize, there needs to be a reason to do anything. Give us some fucking breadcrumbs, right? We're not asking for a lot.
I'm with you on that, but that doesn't... No, but I'm saying rework the way the reps work for Fortuna, so it becomes this sort of journey that you go on. And so you get to... What I would also say, maybe, is reduce or rework... I would rework the way the reps work as well on the Fortuna rep. So the numbers are lower, by the way, and also you don't spend to get the rank up.
Don't spend what?
You don't spend the resource of rep to get the rank up. It's a bar, and as you progress to it, it's total rep you have acquired, right? So your rep is your currency that you go spend at the vendor, but your faction rep thing changes so that it's a bar, and when you get up to like stage, to progress between 1 to 2, it says you have reached. Right, would you like to try and rank up? And it says you have to handle this stuff.
I agree with that.
Right.
But my point is...
No. And the reason why I'm saying this is because then players will at least finish Fortuna, the rep. They within, I don't know, I would say 3 hours maximum, they rank up the maximum rep for... What's the first one called? Is it Voxelaris, the first one? I don't know, the first rep. You do know. You're being...
No, genuinely I don't.
I never remember the names to them. The first rep. So you finish the first rep and you think, oh, wow, I've finished that node. I've gotten to the point that I'm friendly with them. I know I can now get all the stuff from the vendor, but now I've finished this node. Okay, well, that feels finished now. Oh, let's go back to the star chart. And then they go back to the star chart. So at least they get to it and they feel like it's a known mission. They actually feel like they've achieved something. And then they can go, oh, and I see now, I've done the rep, I've got the rep up. And now, whereas at the moment you go there and you're like, what can I achieve here? You don't know anything. You don't feel like you've progressed. You don't feel anything. You're like, okay, star chart this. What am I doing? And the thing is, it's supposed to be this daily return thing. Instead of something you can feel like, oh, I've finished this. It almost becomes like a mini quest on the star chart to itself in my thing. So I don't feel you need to force them out of... I wouldn't want to gate Fortuna. I think it's fine. I want people to see that content quite early on. But I want to make them feel that when they go there, they actually feel like they're achieving something.
The reason why I want to gate Fortuna... and Deimos, right?
I'm with you on Deimos.
And every other faction that is an open world faction, right, is because you can do them all at the same goddamn time. I want to remove the possibility for players to just turn around and go, oh, well, I gotta go do some grinding on... Jesus Christ, that's bright. I gotta do some grinding on for Cetus. I gotta do some grinding for Fortuna. I gotta do some grinding for Deimos. I want to make it more of a serialized linear progression only because I want to remove the what do I do now?
No, I just hated what you said there. Because are you implying that I have to do Cetus before I do Fortuna? I have to get to a certain point in Cetus.
Not necessarily.
No, you just said that. You said a linear progression.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to do... No, it doesn't mean you have to do Cetus before. It might be a case of go do the Jupiter Junction, right? Because the problem is, as soon as you finish For's prize, you can go in two directions. You can either go towards Venus or you could go towards Cetus. And if you go towards Cetus, you end up in the plains, and we have the same problem every single time where people are confused. What the fuck am I meant to be doing here?
No. I agree with all the planes on Cetus, right? And what they should really rework this bloody star chart so that Cetus is a side thing. Now, I wish I could. I'm tempted to go. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's on. If I'm looking at the map,
it only blocks Mars. It doesn't block Venus or Mercury. It only blocks Mars.
Right, but it's there. I remember seeing a friend. Oh no, don't join.
It also has a special icon.
But okay, right. When you're starting a game, you don't realize that's a special icon. That's not something you're going to realize. You don't know what a normal icon is at this point. So what I mean is that it shouldn't be on the path to Mars. It really shouldn't. It should be off a side tangent. And then what it should also do, it might be like, oh, that's not very I think when you go to Cetus first time, a pop-up should appear and literally says, Cetus and the plains is an open world thing. This is an avenue for you to work and progress on, but is not part of your main star chart journey. You know, they should just put a bloody pop-up that appears for people to read. It's better than nothing.
As long as it's short and concise, I'm on board with that. I'm 100% on board.
So on Earth, there's Koba. That's where I put the planes. I'll take a print screen for you. Hang on. I'll give you a print screen.
I mean, I could just look it up on the wiki, but sure.
I know. Well, no, I can do it quicker. I'll just give you this picture, just as an example. Right, let's just copy that. And do you know what? In fact, I'll save it so that people.
Should we just put it up on the star chart on the screen?
On the screen? What you mean? Yeah, I'm saving it as a meme.
Yeah,
I'll save it as a meme. Let's just save it as. Oh, I can't save it as 12. Let's do 10.
Yeah.
You got 10 up?
I think I do. There
you go. Yeah. So can you read that? Is that big enough for you to read?
Yeah.
So the plane should be where Cobra is on the top right.
Yeah, or
that's where it should be. That's where Cetus and plane should be. Is up there on that side thing.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest problem. I mean, fuck, it even fucking blocks the giant fork off to like Everest and.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Yeah. But that's why. Hang on. I remember a friend actually. Like, what was that? They were really confused by it because they did Cetus and then they were like, wait, is that they didn't realize it would I think they went to Cetus, came out, and I don't think that unlocks planes or something. And they were like, wait, how do I get to Everest?
The planes,
and
then leave, and that unlocks it, right?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. This needs it's so bad design.
But it's the same.
Just so people know,
I'm actually no, I don't think Fortuna's as bad because I think that's completely off on its own.
No, exactly. That's how Fortuna is, and at least it doesn't. So from a mental point of view, if I'd never seen this before, I'd be like, okay, let's say if I came down to Venus, it works well. It's like, okay, I've come from there, I'm following these little wires, and Mercury's over there to progress me on. Okay, and there's this side route, and because Orb-Valis then is a dead end. It's like, oh, that's a dead end. Visually alone, because the Orb-Valis little node, or like the Cetus node on screen, it leads on to Eurasia, so it feels like that's part of the path. Whereas if it's like Koba, I'm like, that's a dead end. So I know it, as soon as I click on that node, this isn't going to go anywhere. This is a dead end, and so my mind is now set visually from the part of the star chart. That is a subtle way of teaching players things like, okay, this is already thinking this is a dead end, doesn't lead anywhere. Instead, they stuck it as the link to Eurasia, as if this is somewhere to continue on.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, this is a dead end, and Fortuna Orb-Valis does that much better.
I mean, hell, I'd also be happy with it just like. Let's split it off mantle. Let's split off any of these nodes. But
But I say Koba because I always swap nodes. But yeah, if it was like a Koba but coming off of mantle and it didn't link to anything else, it doesn't link to Tikal. It just is there. Like Tikal, in fact, let's put it where Tikal is. Let's make it that people have to get a long way to get there. But do you know why it's there?
It was supposed to be like to get the players into it as fast as possible.
I don't mean against Steve. I remember him saying this in a thing. I remember him saying the reason why they've made it so new players could get onto the planes when this was released, and the reason why it's so early get into that node is so people when I see that people have seen this content, they saw the trailer, I want them to, and they see this open world, I want them to be able to experience that really quickly. I don't want to put any barriers, sort of. I don't know if you use that word, don't quote me on it, but it's this kind of thing. It was implying that no barriers, that players should be able to see that content in the trailer, and they should be able to get onto that as soon as possible in the game. And it ruined it.
I don't think it ruined it. It ruined the experience for the new players, unless that's what you're actually implying.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, not for the high level players. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, here we are. We've already finished the Star Chat. Oh, see it. There it is. Yeah.
I really think.
But so many people I've talked to get confused by this. It's just. Oh.
Yeah, I really think the largest point is that after you've completed Force Prize, the game really needs to incentivize you to go off and do something else. Like, you know, go to Mars. Go to Jupiter, go to, like, you know, we've said it time and time again. Let's just have it so that Lotus goes, hey, I'm getting a strange signal from Neptune. Yeah. You know, just give you some inclination to go in that direction. And then while you're going that way, you're going to hit the junctions, and the junctions want you to go do these other points, right? As we have said, the problem is, as soon as you hit the open worlds, the idea is that the open worlds are a horizontal level of progression. It's like putting the expansions to World of Warcraft at the start of World of Warcraft, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wait, which one of these am I fucking doing, right?
I love that. Even so, the way World of Warcraft works now is it goes when you start playing it. I'm pretty sure they've still kept it to Battle for Azeroth, but you can skip Shadowlands. No, I don't think you
skip
can.
Shadowlands, but you got to keep battles forever. What the?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember how they did it. I meant that no. So so the way it works now is when a new player starts World of Warcraft, which is a game with multiple expansions, is why people comparing it. We're comparing it to this.
So many.
Which is like Warframe. All those different open worlds are the equivalent of an expansion for World of Warcraft, right? So the way it works now is that when a new player logs in, you have to do the Battle for Azeroth expansion. You have to do it,
and before it, but anyone.
What?
You have to do one before it, but any one.
What do you mean?
You can do Wrath of the Lich King, you can do Cataclysm.
No. A new player is put on Battle for Azeroth.
You don't even have to do. What was that?
No, you don't. You don't even get a choice. No, you don't. Then once they've done that, if you make a second account on that, a second player on that account, that when it gets to a certain point in the story, it's Chromie comes up to you and says, "Would you like to try these other stories?" But the new player is put into Battle for Azeroth.
That's the new player is given.
I know it's the worst one, but it's structured. It's at least structured, but at the same time, it's kind of bad. But at the same time, at least you get through it. You do it and get through it, and it is quite. At least it's got modern systems.
The will to live.
A bit, yeah, but it's got cuts. Well, come on, for a new player though, I guess they wouldn't tell. It's got cutscenes. The Alliance one's better as well, by the way. At least the Alliance stuff's good. Huh?
Give us fucking Shadowlands over fucking Battle for
No.
I'd much rather fucking Shadowlands.
I know you much,
actually,
but it doesn't make any sense.
Devolve.
I know, but it doesn't make sense. But anyway, but the key point we're saying is it gives you a structured experience for the new player, and then gives you all the optional content, which is loads. The game has stripped out loads of content. It says you don't have to do that yet. Is hey, you've already done an account before. Would you like to level somewhere else? You're like, oh yeah, I could level these other expansions.
Yeah,
that'd be exciting and different.
It's not shit.
What's this panda place? This is different. I'll do that for a different character. Yeah. Wow, a new leveling experience that's different each time. I'm going to level so many characters. Yeah. What does Warframe do? See us.
yeah.
Go see us. But don't do too much. Don't you dare do too much one day. Come back tomorrow.
Right.
Okay, when do I rank up? 3 days later. You better come back every day. You're not ranking up, boy. You better not rank up. Oh.
I also
can I have a Zor? You want a Zor? Oh, you better stay 2 weeks. I wonder how long it takes a player to get a Zor now. That's a good question.
Actually, I want to highlight something else. I want to for these factions, I want to remove the. Actually, to be fair, 100% is gonna fucking. So the.
I love that we've turned. I'm sorry, I've turned the first thing into the first topic into the second topic. Sorry.
I want to remove.
Sorry, everyone.
I want to remove the fact that mastery has an impact on the amount you can get for the open world syndicates, the open world factions.
But it wouldn't matter for my plan because the previous open world wouldn't.
I know, but the other side is that if these are newer players, right? And they're low level, they're low MR, right? Then, if they do Zariman and they're like MR 5 I don't know how low you can actually hit Zeraman, but if they're MR5, then they're gonna have like shitty rep caps still.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's my joke about is that like oh, when do I get it? So you better come back. You're gonna have to spend a week of coming back, boy, and you're gonna have to do your cap every day coming back. You because I don't know, it's gonna be like what 10k to start with, some rubbish, and it's gonna take like days before you rank up before you can get anything.
Yeah, no,
this needs reworking completely. It should be. It can rework the whole thing into like. Anyway.
Hold on, I just want to highlight. For the time, it was fine, but the problem now is there's just too much to do, which is the whole point of this topic. There's too much to do. It is overwhelming, and you're going to alienate new players.
Yeah. But do you think how cool it would be if it was really easy to rank up? In fact, let's reduce the price on bloody Zors so they're really cheap. Players are like, right, oh wow, I've gotten to this like open world thing, and I'm ranking up and I'm unlocking these things. Hey, look how quick I can build my own weapons in this game, and that's so cheap. I can make as many as I want. Oh, but I better buy some weapon slots.
I'm gonna,
it's like it even help people spend money on the game.
I'm going to hold fire on that one only because I can't remember how powerful Zors are in comparison to other weapons. Again, one of the biggest problems Warframe has is the fact that you can get some of the top end weapons at like MR0. Like,
I don't care.
I do.
I think it'd be much more exciting if people could build weapons there. Oh, come on.
I remember years ago, right? We had a problem where players who are MR2 got the Boltor Prime, which was the best gun.
How many years ago was that? 8?
A gajillion. It doesn't matter.
About 7 or 8 years ago that was. No. But even now, I can spawn platinum on the shop and just get things right away. And the weapons are stupidly overpowered. So it's not even an issue.
I don't think Plat bypass is the mastery rank requirement. I thought that a long time ago, but then it turns out it's like, oh no, you still need to be the mastery rank requirement. I'm like, oh,
what is the mastery rank on Zors then?
I mean, we could pull Nazareth in and ask him.
I could just it's going to be in the wiki.
Okay. I remember it was 0 for the longest time because everyone was getting fucking Catch Moon and
Zors.
Well, kick guns in general, the whole modular weapon system.
At least that will take you a little bit to go get to
but
those.
You didn't even. What are you talking about? It's fucking Thenas.
But remember now, in my thing, players are going to have this whole playing probably for several hours on Cetus to get all these stuff unlocked. They're probably going to focus on that. Hey, look, I can build my giant poleaxe.
Or they go to Wiki and say, oh look,
but there's always
good. Oh, Spore Lace, a super good gun. Oh, I'll just go straight to Deimos then.
Mastery.
I think.
I mean, okay, yeah. So what you could do then is I want people to get access to kick gun stuff as quick as possible, but maybe you could make a couple of parts mastery rank restricted.
Sure.
Because at least then these players get to use the system, get to build a few guns, and they go, oh, that's got a mastery rank restriction on it. I'll have to come back. I have to work. That's a goal to work towards. But at least they've got access to the system. They can build some kick guns. They're like, whoa, look at these. This is cool. Oh, that one must be really powerful.
The only concern I have, and I don't really want to go into length about it because I'd like to get on with the replies. The only concern I really have, I'd love to hear from the comments. How do you make sure that players experience using the regular guns and everything before they go ahead and start doing kick guns? Because that was the problem with the Boltor Prime issue. Everyone got a Boltor Prime.
But that is a...
Yeah. Right. So how would... How would you, right, incentivize people to get a kick gun and still use the regular guns?
But at the same time, I don't think that matters anymore. There's so much content. We need them to get through it. I don't care. That's like, oh yeah, you have to experience. Oh, you have to play the Mars nodes with a bolt with a Mark 1 Brat, and just you can experience what it's like. No, we need people to bloody butcher through all this content as quick as possible. Who cares if they get a catch moon?
We still
early on.
No, but we still have loads of nodes in certain requirements in junctions and things. You've got to be this mastery rank in order to actually do these things. So
right,
if
so then
people
they have
have
to
the
go
best
level
gun,
some stuff up. You know?
yeah, that's
maybe some of those mastery ranks need reducing as well. By the way, because we need to get people through the bloody solar system, and I don't know how many of those are still left. To be honest, probably quick flick through if you see them. But I don't. If that's the only reason, oh well, we don't want them to have a fun gun to play with, and oh well, these junctions require mastery ranks. Like, well, just get rid of those mastery rank restrictions. I think they're gone. I can't find any actually. I'm just flicking through them.
Maybe they have removed them.
I don't see any of them.
I remember one. I swear was on Mars.
Mars 2 something, or
I think it was Mars 2 something.
Okay, Mars to Phobos, unless I can't see it, but
it might be you have to make a certain weapon which has an MR requirement.
Okay, so you've got defeat the Sergeant on Iliad, defeat Lekrill on War, defeat 300 Arid Grenier, refine a Void Relic.
No.
That's off to Ceres, and off to Phobos is defeat 150 enemies in a single mission on Mars, scan 1 Cephalon fragment on Mars, open 3 lift Void Relics.
What about the Earth one?
There's nothing to Deimos. Earth to Mars? Oh, that's definitely gone if there's one on that. Complete Once Awake. Defeat 150 Frontier Grenier enemies on Earth. Collect 500 Rubido. Complete Susui on Mercury.
Yeah, no. It's, yeah.
I think those are gone, to be honest.
I think those are gone. Cool, right. Should we go to the replies?
Yeah, so I'm just let me just do one more. Pluto Junction. No, not even on Pluto Junction. I think those have gone a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Replies. Early on, just focus on completing nodes you haven't done and doing quests. Don't worry about grinding unless you see a warframe or weapon you really, really want. Don't be afraid to ask questions either here or in the in-game Q&A chat.
I think that's the problem though. Players, until they are comfortable learning for themselves, I think players are not comfortable to engage with other players. I can.
Yes, same. Yeah. I didn't used to be. I remember when back in the glory days when I started playing Warcraft, I would talk and whatever, and I went off and did raiding with Brandos in Sweden. I'd never even heard of them. They got me up at 3 a.m. to do dragons. Now, if I went to play World of Warcraft, I'd be too afraid to even ask how to do a dungeon, and I'd have to go. I wouldn't even dare go into the dungeon with a group until I looked it up on YouTube first.
I remember doing. I think it was like my first or second dungeon in Shadowlands, the most recent expansion, and the sheer volume of toxicity I was getting just because I'd never done it before.
Yeah,
it was horrible.
And I noticed. Yeah, I remember we were doing Dark Tide. And I know it wasn't quite hostility, but I think on the day a new mission had unlocked and we were at the rando, and the rando was telling us where to go right away.
Oh no, they would say come this way. It was no hostility.
I know, no, but at the same time, there is kind of like he wanted to improve his efficiency right now on the day of, he's going to do this hundreds of times.
I would argue it's a case of he didn't want to risk us dying and then struggling to, I wouldn't say that's like.
It is it is a little bit towards that. Like I on no other mission have I've seen people tell, "Oh, come over here." It wasn't like we were miles away. We were just like, "Oh, this is new," and it's like, "No, come here, do this." It's a little bit towards that. It wasn't antagonistic, but it's like the baseline that grows from. Yeah. So the key point here is that games just get quite toxic. So yeah, though the Warframe community is great for communicating, I do feel in a new game I'd be quite not brave enough to ask. Yeah. And that's from years of gaming experience. I still do that. Anyway, I think an issue in Warframe is that they open up so many things you can do early on, not realizing that you don't have to do them all daily. Kind of like Stardew Valley in that regard. I need to play Stardew Valley.
No, you don't.
Can you get on the Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, I should get on the Switch.
No.
Why? Got to
do you have a PC?
Kill Poxwalkers. I have a PC, yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing on PC.
I think I have it on PC. But it's like I come to the PC and I'm like, I could play Stardew Valley and I love that kind of game, but I'm like, I have to shoot Poxwalkers.
I mean,
I have to hit them with a spade.
Oh God, moving on.
You just have to pick a goal and start playing. See, that's the tricky bit. They've already failed. It's like, how do you know what the goal is? Exactly. I have problems playing Warframe now. I'm like, what? I've got goals to do. Which goal do I pick?
Yeah, no, you can't just say to a brand new player, just pick a goal. How do you weigh that information, right?
Yeah,
it's better to say just roll a dice. Let the dice decide for you.
Close your eyes and spin around and walk in that direction.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying to them.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
You just have to pick a goal and start playing. Focus on that one thing until you get yourself established. As a newbie, I say focus on clearing the star chart and working on quests. There we go. The second sentence was much better.
Yeah.
Basically it's do the star chart. Just focus on the star chart.
That is why I really want to peel off the open worlds to, less desirable places.
Yeah.
Maybe your text
you're
box,
right.
Your text box is a solution, right?
Is a solution. I'm also thinking your way as well. Maybe that. You see, okay, Steve was all basically obsessed with getting people on the planes. That was years ago, right? Okay, now maybe now you do Vorph Prize. You go to how about you go to once you've finished Mercury, then Cetus unlocks.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And how about both Cetus and Fortuna unlock? Because you've got them, because Mercury is a dead end, and you're like, all right, you've now turned around, right, I'm going to go the other way. Oh, there's these two things. But but those are planets you've already been to now. You've already done Earth, you've already done Venus. Like, okay, I could do those, or I could go to Mars. But at least you've established the jumping between planets.
So what I would like to do, hear me out, right? That's just my idea. Hear me out. You hearing me out? Good. Right. I would have it so that, yes, you got to finish Mercury before you can go to Cetus, right? Okay. Especially as the Mars junction has you going fucking Mercury anyway. The next thing is I would have it, you can't go to Fortuna yet, but after you do a few bounties on Fortuna, there's an NPC there that says, hey, you may be able to help us in Fortuna. And then you can go
I don't think you're listening to yourself. You go to Cetus and do a few bounties on the plains.
Sorry,
and
yes.
then Fortuna.
Yes. Then
you said you go do a few bounties on Fortuna, and NPC says, "Hey, you can help Fortuna.
Yeah.
Fortuna needs you." Yeah. What? Wait.
Sorry. Yes, I meant Cetus.
I get that could work. Yeah. No, I think you're right on that. Yeah, just a little bit of a. Yeah, you go to Cetus.
You need a taster. You need proper.
But I still like my pop up at the start, just to let you know.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Next.
Sad we've had two topics. Effectively the same thing. I'm sorry, everyone.
Is it the last one?
Yeah, the game doesn't give you a good start. There is a chat for asking questions, and 99% of the time there'll be plenty of people to help you. All you got to do is ask. I'm sure there are people on this subreddit that are on PlayStation that'll be more willing to help you guide you through the game.
Yeah, the biggest problem. So the problem here right now is because there's so much variety. There's no there's a decreased amount of intuitivity, right? So it's not intuitive what you're supposed to do. I remember in, again, early days of World of Warcraft, you start your new character and the very first thing you've got right in the middle of the screen is a quest giver, right? Smack right in front of you.
Yeah.
You can't, but the
with a big yellow exclamation point, you're like, oh, what's this? I'll click on him.
Yeah, but the problem with Warframe is as soon as you finish the Vorph Prize, your hand has been let go, there's nothing right in front of you. There's nothing even fucking far away. It's just open fields. Where the fuck do I go? What do I do?
Yeah. The star chart, I don't know. I really should try and give it a go to see what the new player thing is like. But in my opinion, they should record some voice lines for. See, E Prime is once you finish Vorph Prize, yeah? It then says go to E Prime. E Prime, you got to E Prime. So instead of the blinking blue thing of like these are the remaining nodes, I'd say right. The goal should be to get somebody to Venus. If you can get someone to Venus, they understand the system and they'll play some more of the star chart. But you need to get them through a 6. And I would have a text line. No, sorry, I would get Rebecca to record some audio lines that play to get players down to the Venus Junction.
Yeah.
Different ones after each mission, and then a special blinking light that says this should be your next mission. To get people down to that Venus Junction. Because at least then you've gone to Venus, like, okay, now I understand. I do nodes, I unlock the next node, I get to a junction, I unlock a new planet. And then after that you could do a thing that kind of encourages them to be like, right, go to the Mercury Junction, and then the ball's finished rolling,
Cool. I agree with you. I really do.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
How long have we got on this? Let's have a look.
1 hour and 49 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could rant for longer.
Right.
I could so rant for longer on this. I'm sorry, everyone. This has been a long ranty episode.
Well, it's no, I mean, but this is a lot of fundamental stuff. This is a lot of, and the problem is, and I respect the fact that DE don't want to go back to updating basics when it's a case of they need to focus on some of the more recent stuff. But regardless,
I guess we'll have a patch next week, so next week we'll actually get some cool content to talk about instead of us all being all ranty.
Forward, not backward. Upward, not forward. And always
good to get a bit of a rant out now and then.
Okay, but
can I just point something for you, because we're gonna move on now. But the last point is that for everything saying, "Oh my god, you guys are," well, actually, I want to take this point to say that it shows how we're not white knight. I know there's accuse us of this, but it shows that we're not white knights.
We have had people accuse us of this.
Have we? Oh, yeah. Okay. We can be highly critical, but at the same time, we appreciate that the people on the other end developing this game are people with families and livelihoods as well, and they're doing the best they can. But it might not always just be the best option. But they're still people. They're still fallible people. And then also, what was I going to say? So that's why we can be critical, but then our things aren't really people attacks. We just take statements that people have made, and we are going on the facts and the features, not just
at no point.
They did it wrong because they're stupid. It's nothing like that.
It's a labor of love. You know, it's not a case of. We do not think any less of any of the people that we know at DE, or even the people we don't know at DE. You know, they are out to A, make a piece of art, B, make a piece of entertainment, and C, make a living, right?
Yeah.
So,
and they're all hardworking. I don't want to. They're hardworking. It's just sometimes you can put work in the wrong direction.
I mean, I remember 2018. We were arguing for ages. They should just do an update that is a balance pass. They should and then they did it in 2018. And I fucking nope. I'm an idiot. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. They shouldn't have just done an update that's a balance pass. They should have done a balance pass plus some minor content.
It's a bit tricky because it's weird that a balance pass somehow was like 3 months of content, and that took an entire 3 months to produce some number changes.
Anyway.
I don't know why. But the last point, I keep making the Final Fantasy 14 point of people only criticize things they love. If you didn't care, you just leave. And you wouldn't say a thing.
Right. So we have decided to skip the concept only because...
Well, we don't make a massive 4-hour episode.
Yeah. So we're going to save it for next week. And we're going to get on with the rest of the show, which moves on to the graphs. And oh boy, did I have technical difficulties putting these together. Right. So graph number 1. Right. So I actually got Zrugel's question from Zrugel asking, what it was he wanted. So Zrugel's question was, what resource would you be willing to sacrifice to replenish the number of uses of a Requiem mod? All right. So 7% said a crazy amount of endo. 21% said that they didn't like this suggestion at all. Like they'd rather just transmute the dead ones. 29% said a small number of Riven slivers, and 43% said a large amount of Kuva. I'm on board for the Kuva, mostly because you have to go out of the way to do it.
I feel Kuva's the right one. Kuva feels...
It also feels thematic as well.
Yeah.
The second graph is, do you agree with the suggestion of aborting a pubby mission if someone brings Limbo? I was shocked by this, right? I was shocked that anyone said yes, but 14% said yes, and 86% said no. I am not going to name and shame in any way, shape, or form. It is your opinion.
It was me. I was the one.
So 10 o'clock's now over. We're never doing it again. Now I'm joking. But yeah, I'm shocked. I'm sure you have your reasoning, but I just wouldn't ever want to restrict what people bring. So, but that's my crazy ass opinion. Or maybe someone's just trying to antagonize me. Next, we did actually ask an open-ended question of what people, like what additional etiquette stuff, there's no graph for this one, would people suggest. So a lot of people didn't actually suggest anything at all. Someone said, just don't expect public games to be the most efficient and don't expect new players to be good at the game. I know I had great difficulty with the background footage of this episode when I was doing the Archon Disruption. At level 140, I fucking hated it. I was, and it was a complete pubby game.
Did the graph have changed?
No. These are just verbal suggestions.
Oh, okay.
Right. Next, we have not using spoiler mode around low MR players. Not sure I particularly agree with that. I mean,
what? Do you not agree with doing that? To be honest, I wouldn't even know. I'd be like, okay, some weird thing about it. It's like you can't. It's been years. You can't keep the secret as secret as it is. It's good when we try to do it, but it's like it. Yeah, who cares? I just don't use it. I barely use it anyway. So what's the point? What are you actually doing with it on such a low level mission? Unless you're literally like, I'm going to do this whole mission, my operator.
Yeah. Someone turned around and said, "Subscribe to Tenno Clock."
What are these questions? Sorry, I'm confused. My brain's disconnected here. What are these?
Do you have any suggestions for Warframe etiquette that wasn't listed?
Oh, okay.
So someone said, "Subscribe to Tenno Clock." Another person says, when cracking relics, if there are duplicates, I prefer to choose the teammates reward because it gives them +5 void traces. And I love it when they do the same. Again,
I don't even do duplicates. I would do it. It's even if I see of the same tier. No, it's like obviously everyone wants the highest value item. So if everything's common, I try and go for. But there's most people will go, well, that's the most Plat worthy items. People go for that. But I will always try and not if as long as it's not of equal value ducat wise, I will go for something which nobody has so that they can get some extra traces.
Fair. And then last but not least, which I didn't know was still a thing, don't break the glass window in that one retconned Corpus ship tile. I thought
is there any tiles left?
Well, not only that, I thought that they removed those.
I missed that.
I
missed those tiles.
I agree, but I thought they removed the breakable glass because of twats like me.
I don't. Well, they removed the whole bloody tile set. I didn't know there was any on the new tile set.
No, I think it's like
there must be one tile there.
You see the old tile set like for one mission before you go into Deadlock Protocol. As soon as you're in Deadlock Protocol, you can't see.
Well, then it should be mandatory to the thing should be to smash that window so that people can go, wow, that's a cool idea. What if that's going to be in the game again? No.
Genuinely, I thought that they had removed that. Right. Anyway, so let's move on to graph number 3. So how many Archon hunts have you run? Sorry. So it should have been like how many have you missed or what? I don't know wording. Right. So 14% said that they've missed all of the Archon hunts, so they've done none of them. The problem was we couldn't really work out how many Archon hunts there have been, because there's some weeks that I've had 2 and there's been some weeks that haven't had any. It's really hard. So so one person said that they've missed all of the Archon hunts. 14% said that they've missed up to 7 Archon hunts. 14% said I missed up to 3. 14% said that I've missed more than 7. And 43% said they've run all of them. Now, this is to do with how many Tau Forge that they have, right? Because some people have said that. So that one topic said that I've done them all. I've not had a single one, right?
Yep.
So, moving straight on to the next graph. How many Tau Forged Archon shards do you have? 8% said 0 and 8% said 4, with 25% saying 1 and 2. And 33% saying 3. Right?
You have a perfect bell graph.
I do, actually.
Which isn't arranged as so, it's arranged as a mess.
Dude, I mean...
sorry, just so everyone can appreciate, poor Xeno had a lot of pain trying to even get these graphs exported. I think we're missing the last graph. They wouldn't work.
One. Yeah, and we just gave up because it was just holding up. I think I spent, half hour trying to get the damn things to download. So, anyway... But what? It's technically not what's called a bell graph because.
Oh no, it just doesn't look. No, it is. Why isn't it?
Because 2 is the middle number, and
oh well, okay, it's slightly slanted. Oh, sorry, yeah, I thought 3 would be the middle number, so it goes up to 5. But yeah, 0, 1, 2, 2. No, because 0 is a. Yeah, no, it's a 5-point thing with 3 being the middle number. What are you talking about?
No, 0,
oh no,
1,
2
2,
is
3, 4.
yeah, 2 is yeah. Sorry, yeah. It's a slightly slanted. Okay, it's not quite perfect. Yeah, I give you that.
Right. Shit. What were we talking about? Were we just obsessing over that? Or should we move on to the next one?
Powerful shots. Yeah, move on.
Okay. Let's move on to. I think it's graph number 5. How do you feel? Nope. Why does that say that?
That last week's.
Yeah. Okay. Are these numbers correct? Okay, seriously, I was getting so effed off. Right, so the actual question is, how do you feel about...
Can you remove this one off screen? Because this is a bit distracting having something different on screen. Okay. There we go. Right.
How do you feel about Tau-forged Archon shards being added to Void Armageddon missions? The percentages were correct, but the question for some strange reason was wrong. Right? So 14% said neutral. And then it's a deadpan.
Oh, sorry. So those numbers are right now. Yeah. On the graph. Wait.
The numbers are
now
right.
Now display the graph. Right. Yeah. Now read out. Read out.
So 14% said neutral, and 43% said negative, and 43% said positive. So it's a deadpan tie between adding them. Sorry, how people feel about them.
No, it's a clear case of adding them.
Because someone said neutral.
Anyone who says neutral, it's like they don't mind. It's not they're positive towards it. It's not they're negative. It's that they don't really mind whether you do or don't.
So it's like, okay, so it's a deadpan time between positive and negative.
Oh, sorry. It's a bit tiny. I've got it on a tiny thing. Sorry, I thought it
43%.
I thought it was 43% neutral, and then 14% negative. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's a deadpan between the two ends. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if anyone's put any comments in, but. Yeah, I would love to have more reason to do Void Art theme.
I got actually put some long comments actually about things. But, no.
Right, okay, so moving on to... Oh, there it is! Okay, fine. Oh, fuck knows, I just fucked up the graphs. Right, okay, how do you feel about the community concept? Lotus wants to move in with you. 21% said neutral. 36% said positive and 43% said negative. I mean, it was a bit of a weird concept, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I'd like to think that we expanded it quite well. Right? And then the last graph, which I could get to fucking download. How do you feel about the additions Xeno and Loz proposed for the community concept? I think we're talking about like tower defense stuff, and I don't know. We said words. There were a lot of words. 14% said negative, 43% said neutral, and 43% said positive. So people liked our additions.
Yay!
On average. Yeah. And that is it for the graphs. It is now time to move on to the supporter questions.
Okay, so...
Are they in the thing?
7?
7.
They're always on 7.
But they are.
Before I read out the supporter questions from Zoogle... this is like medieval. Before I read out... I can't... Hear ye! Before I read out the supporter questions, I just want thou... I want to thank you, thou, for watching or listening to our podcast. Please strike that thumbs up. We don't hit, we strike that thumbs up button and leave a comment if there's anything you'd like to say. This font is labeled Math Fractor.
That font is labeled My Poor, Poor Brain. So many, like, I swear, the thank...
Does your brain not... No. So we've found that runes works for you. You like runes.
This one, no. 3, recut the supporter questions. 3 just want to thank you all for watching or listening to our podcast. Please hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment if there's a squiggle. Life to San.
It's weird that sometimes you got the Y in you, and then that last one you didn't. Like you got it in the word you because it looks like an N, so it looks like San. But when it was at the start, you actually got it right. Weird. Okay, it's a weird font.
I think it's because my brain heavily focused on the OU.
Yes.
B.
Yeah.
That is B,
so, do you think the new dev team has already started to take the game in any new directions, or do you feel they've been maintaining the status quo, or somewhere in between?
No, I think they've been leaning more towards new directions. I think they are more receptive to player feedback. They are heavily leaning towards more balancing, and things like that. That's my perception. Because they seem.
I get the feeling they feel more open and that they are. I don't mean that mean or anything. I just feel it just does get that feeling. At the same time, I do feel content-wise, though, this is still on the scripted path. This was already planned out. Maybe that's why I'm like maybe they could make some changes or some big things in Deviri, but like post Deviri is where we're going to start seeing what is the new paradigm of moving forwards. Yeah, hopefully. Fixing bloody. Oh, maybe we should make a video. Maybe we should make a video. Bloody
video essay.
How to fix the bloody. I'm really getting quite.
Do you hate the word video essay?
No. I mean, I'm feeling really quite strongly on the whole fix the open worlds, remove those reps.
Fair.
It's such a it's a vestigial part of Warframe. Don't get me wrong, there's bigger changes that can be made. I'm not saying this is like a silver bullet either. But you can just easily look at it and go, that doesn't function anymore.
Just to check, do you consider your tonsils vestigial?
My tonsils don't affect the progression of food through my bowels.
So I'm just checking, is that correct use of the term vestigial?
Yes. No, yeah, vestigial. No, your sorry, I thought you were trying to make an analogy with people. No, your appendix, vestigial. Right. Or your tail.
Yeah. So I basically
you do know you have a tail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good.
Way up my butt. Right, so that is it for the supporter questions. Now time to move on to the community responses of last week's episode.
Oh, cool. Okay, Edward Paddock says Loz is always right. Good. Oof. This is true. Everything. Peter Grove says, anyways, all jokes aside, I've been planning to do some Tenno Gen weapon skins. I have a concept for an arm cannon skin that is less intrusive to the player camera. I think it's like hand cannon, arm cannon. Is there an arm cannon? No. I also have a concept for rifles like the Cougar Hind, Truman, and Quellor. These are all currently weapons without skins. Oh, that's terrible.
Nice.
Good work, Paulers. Are there any weapons that you feel need a skin?
Oh, fuck. The problem is I don't know what weapons do have skins and what weapons don't have skins. I think the ones that are just flat out fugly as hell. What's the name of the? There's the one that's basically a crossbow on your arm. It's arm mounted, but it just looks like a box. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Oh, the Grineer one. The yellow box in your hand.
I swear it's Corpus.
I can't think of a Corpus one. I think of the Grineer one, the Atmos.
No, it's not the Atmos.
And then there's the Cephalon one.
The Atmos is spherical in nature. The Cephalon one is
like
Gamma
weird
Core.
bitsy things. Yeah.
Oh,
I remember when that was so meta.
No, it's like this weird crossbow
the
thing.
Corpus box?
I swear it's a Corpus box. It looks like a crossbow. It folds out and everything. It looks dumb as hell.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Is it like the Staticore or?
No, I think isn't the Staticore the two like gauntlets?
I always get it confused. I can never remember which one's which.
See, it's one of the things of Warframe. I just want to point out has such amazing variety in weapon design. I know that you could say about the feel of the weapon is probably something, but at least the imagination of their team for like the weapons they've come up with. Like you look at other games, they're like,
what?
Can you imagine a different gun, please? And they're like, no, it's like fisty punch guns. I'm like, way! Yeah. I know what you mean. It's like on your arm.
This is why I don't like the protocol guns. I really don't like those skins because it just feels like it takes away from the fisty punchy thing.
Protocol guns?
The Dead's Dark Sector skins for the guns.
Yes.
That's why I don't like them.
We'll see what they apply to. I mean, like, if the pistol only applies to, let's say, the Lato, the Vasto, the Lex.
It's going to be all pistols.
Well, who knows? Well, no, actually, well, you're saying that, as Peter's just pointed out to us, the Kuva Hind, the Truman, and the Quell don't have a skin.
Is there a Hind skin at all?
No, as in I assume he's implying that the Kuva Hind or the Hind has no. I can check this actually.
Actually, one I love is for the Tenora. I love the Tenora.
There you go. There you go.
More barrels.
Right. Hind. Does the Hind have? Oh no, that's a Zenith.
Yeah.
Typing is hard. Right, Hind appearance. No, I mean I'm not saying I got any, but like there's nothing coming up, so that's no Tenogen, no anything. Wow. I'll spoil it there, Peter. Right, moving on. Oh, there's some. I did actually pick up quite a lot, so I'm not going to read out all of these because there's a bit of back and forth. But there's a really interesting back and forth. I do read all the comments, so I was going to point that out. And there's a lot of back and forth about the Tau 4 shards, but there's a lot to get in there, so I won't do anything. So let's do some of the short ones. Pedro Alameda, maybe Tau shards should somehow be related to Railjack, so people would have a good reason to go there and to do something different than the core game. I feel Railjack has so much potential that is not being used properly. I don't know, guys. Just though, good podcast. Cheers.
No, I'm on board for that. Like, give us.
I think I've heard before. Pedro Alameda. I think that's totally right. Absolutely right.
Give us like. I feel that the problem is like if you've watched the footage, there was an instance where I was fighting the Rhino Wolf thing. It's a cakewalk. And now you're seeing footage of me fighting the stupid owl, I don't know, Zephyr. And it's like just a fucking brick wall. I hate how there is such a difference between them. I would like it if there was a more, I suppose, rock, paper, scissors scenario with these things. And I would have preferred it instead of Tau 4 shards having anything to do with the damage system. It's like, you are, I don't know, able to put different elements or different, just make it more utilitarian than maths. Does that make sense? Have I just like confused the situation?
Killing my enemies algebra isn't fun.
Yeah, and yet for some strange reason people are like, nah, it's fun, I want bigger damage numbers. I'm like, why? Like, I swear to God, I wish damage numbers were just off permanently. Just fucking get rid of them.
Well, yeah, you're making a good point there. I mean, and that's a comparison to a game we've been playing recently, which is 40,000 Dark Tide. That doesn't give you damage numbers, does it?
No.
But you get a bar. You have stats, but you don't even know what the numbers are on your weapon. It's like this weapon does more damage. Why? Because the bar's bigger.
Yeah.
The white bar for this is the damage of this weapon versus another version of this weapon, and you just know it's higher. Do you know how much more, or can you theory craft it? No, it's just got more damage.
Yeah.
You just know that there's more, and it's like, yeah.
I like that. The only problem that Dark Tide suffers is its comparison between is the one you currently have better or worse, because it's like is it that or is it
it should just overlap it to show you this is increased, this is decreased.
Either that or in the comparison, like you have one which has like the what you're comparing against has like a green or red section, whether or not it's better or worse, and then you just find
because that would fall into the colorblind issue, just a symbol. So on this gun, the damage stat has a symbol, but if it's this gun was better, the previous one there's a symbol. The bracket maybe around the whole damage bit. Anyway, right. There is some good stuff in these ones. I want to pick. I'd love to go through them, but I don't want to spend hours here. Let's do EG. Well, no, we sometimes we used to have 3 episodes. But by cut the topic, we're now back into normal timelines. We're not too bad. Let's go through this one actually. Genkami. About the playstyles of players in missions like Defense, I think people in public games have the right to play the game as they see fit. Team up or play solo if you don't want to gamble with players who slow down the gameplay. You could just as easily complain about players who go further than 10 meters from the defense object to loot. So loot has to be picked up further away, but I think everyone realizes how ridiculously entitled that is. Now, do I understand why the criticism is leveled? Obviously, efficiency. But if you want to be efficient, why are you on Hydron to begin with? The contradiction doesn't make sense. So all I conclude is the person wants people to play the game the way they themselves want to play the game, which is fine. You can always want things. But if you're going to ask that from others, then it certainly helps if you live by the same rules you ask others to follow as well.
Completely agree.
Yep.
Right.
That was a really good comment.
And also, people should be entitled to say no, right? Just because you want me to play by that rule doesn't mean I want to play by that rule. I don't want.
There was actually, I feel the contradiction on this one from King of Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a reply. I'm not sure. It's not about making. It could be applied to our topic. I didn't put the thing. It's not about making it the fastest thing ever. But Hydron is not that hard, especially, but not limited to with Wisp's other two modes. Is a shock mote is the problem. All abilities like that and others do is slow down a mission that doesn't need stuff like that to beat it easily. If you're really struggling, go for it. But if not, why disrupt someone's Hydron's run? Just because you don't like that playstyle? I won't get upset if you don't know. If you do it, it's not a big ask. There are ways to speed it up, but stuff like that is just needlessly slowing it down.
I don't understand how. Like, why would the shock emote slow down?
I assume does it chain to mobs and then they all just sit there going "Wah!" or something.
Oh,
I've never noticed that. I don't play Wisp. That's the problem.
I mean, to be honest, when I play Wisp, I'm just running around like a lunatic. I tried to avoid defense missions like the plague.
Yeah.
Hell, that's why I was ranting so bloody much with regards to Archon hunts having defense missions all the time. But I don't. Again, like everyone has said so far, that if you really want to play in a specific way, if you don't like the fact that you're running into these situations, then it's up to you to either organize a group and coordinate who's playing what, or just flat out don't play pubbies, just play solo. It's entirely up to you, and you shouldn't. I know that you can level up better through passive leveling, and there's more enemies and things when there's more players, but you shouldn't condemn people on pubbies just because that's the choice you've made. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean,
you've chosen to be in a public group. You should have no say on the other players. I want
to make a horrific joke, which is like, come on, guys, you all have friends, right? Sorry. Horrible joke.
The fact that if you really wanted to, you could just make a pre-made group and just take a little bit of time, a little bit of effort to do the voice chat. Type into some text, and you will be able to find people who will happily come along and do exactly in your mindset. If you click that public button, you are rolling the dice, and you will have to live with what you get. Right, there's a bit back and forth about Tower Shards, actually. EGS Cross Sanity. As someone who acquired their first Tower Forged yesterday of posting this after weeks of doing hunts, the RNG makes no sense in existing. Why should I be punished for doing the exact same mission as my fellow Tenno? They can't be shards. They can't be traded, shouldn't be tradable in my opinion, like other RNG farms. The farm can't be improved by external managers, i.e. relic radiating. The acquisition is once a week. The wait is unbearable. Just to be disappointed.
Twice a week.
So just why is it an RNG job?
Tower Forge. Sorry. Yes.
So just why is it an RNG job? I come back every week for them anyway. Why do you have to piss me off each week seeing my clanmates get their 6th Tau Shard? It says T-shirt. It just makes me question why I bother with this system instead of going like, oh cool, the mission was fun and rewarding. Just to add on to the topic conversation, I don't think converting your normal shards to Tau Forge is a good idea either. Lowering your overall shard gain than others just because of some bad luck doesn't sit right with me either.
Do you remember...
do you want the full back? There's a reply from Tony Covenant, and then EGS Grand 70 comes back as well. Do you want the full spiel before you make a decision?
No. Do you remember...
In the mountains, yes.
When we started Warframe, you would crack open a box, it would drop a mod, but it was random.
Yeah.
It was different for everyone.
Yes, yeah.
Right? So some people got rare mods, some people got junk, right?
Yep.
And the uproar players, got was, people complain to the nth degree. The point is that this is just the way the cookie crumbles, right? It's like, you and all your friends go to university. You're all doing the same course. They all get got 2 2s and you get a third. How is that fair?
Well, you all go to university. You spend 3 years there, and at the end of the course, you all walk up to the person who has a box, and you reach into the box and pull out your grade randomly, and then they all get first, and you get a third just because you pulled out badly.
Yeah, it's
That's so bad.
Yes, thank you for elaborating that better, right? It's like, first off, life is unfair, right? There's this, that is common status quo. Life is unfair, right?
Well, sorry, I'm just pointing out that's a terrible system if it was governed that way.
Yeah. But I mean, but even so, it's like they want you to keep playing, right? So if they turn around and say, like, okay, if you do 3 weeks, no, let's make this stupidly long. Let's say 6 weeks, maybe 9 weeks. 9 weeks of Archon hunts, but you do not claim your reward. You have 100% chance of getting a Tau 4 shard, right?
But you can choose not to get your rewards.
No, imagine that, right? You work at it for longer, but to guarantee you getting a Tau 4 shard.
Oh,
right.
How many times?
9 weeks.
9 weeks. So I can guarantee 1 Tau 4 shard, or I can get 9 rolls of the dice.
Mm-hmm.
And the chance, 20% still.
20%. It's. I think the term, if I'm using it correctly, is mutually exclusive. So the events of one roll has no impact on the events of other rolls.
Yeah. So 9 rolls of dice at 20% chance, or 1 guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it, technically it's 3 chances because you got the 3 colors, right?
What you get to pick?
Yeah, you get to pick
on the guaranteed.
On the guaranteed, but you only get 1.
That's and you get 1.
You only get 1.
I think I'd roll the dice every time.
You think you roll the dice every time?
Yeah, because by the old system, I'd only get
1 shard as opposed to 9.
No, that's fine in general. Well, no, well, I don't know. Maybe if it also could I count my Carl shards as part of the 9?
No.
Right, so that means I'd only get what?
You can't count the Carl shards as part of the 9 now.
I'd get like 5 shards a year.
And? But it's 100%. Yeah. It's 100% chance to get exactly what you want. But you currently have a 20% chance each attempt right now, and you could be an entire year and never get a Tau 4 shard.
But then on average, you should do, if you did every run, it's 52 weeks.
Yeah.
So you should expect...
I did work out the maths. It should take you, I think, 75 weeks on average, right, to get 5 Tau 4 shards.
75 weeks?
75 weeks. That's over a year.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, of a set colour?
Yes.
Right, okay, of a set colour. But if you just wanted 5 random Tau 4 shards, it does not take 75 weeks.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Right, so if you wanted 5 blue Tau 4 shards, it would take... The
thing is, I just want to point out people in the system, because I'm going to read out these other points, back and forth thing. This is why I was talking about earlier about getting the reps upgraded and getting those caps removed, because D does sometimes go back and fix content, and they will look into Tau 4 shards. Mm-hmm. They knew when this system was launching that they were not probably going to launch Deviri this year. They knew.
Well,
and so they're like, right, so we need a piece of content which is going to last. How do we do that? Well, we make it RNG drop for this.
Well,
it polarizes people, and some people will go back and do it again and again because it's there. And I promise you, in the new year, they will come out with a system which will remove it will be not nearly as hard to get Tower Forge shards.
I honestly don't know if they will, because in all honesty,
they said they will. They've already said they will.
No, they're going to address it.
Yes,
right?
That means they will do it. Yes, they're gonna.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna.
It will be easier. Yeah. There'll be one option for like 500 scrap from.
But on the tangent, right? What do you need the Tower Forge shards for?
Yes, of course. There's always that.
You know, like Loz. I don't know. I don't know how receptive I was to your comment last time, but I think I must have slept on it or something, because I'm just like, well, we're not doing any raids, we're not doing any fucking hard content, right?
Yeah.
What's it good for, right? If I could plug a Tower Forge shard into my gun and make it so that the armor of a fucking level 140 fucking just demo list wasn't such a ball ache, sure, I would have no problem with that. But what did it fucking give me? Wow,
that's true. Yeah.
What's it?
Also. But also remember, yeah, that's good. But also remember, it's not comparing versus no shards, which is what some people might be like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. But in reality, you're only comparing versus five normal shards. Yeah. 5 normal shards versus 5 Tower Forge shards. It's like, yeah, there probably is a difference in that. I don't know the exact percentage of it, but it's not going to be massive compared to not having shards. So you can get shards in there. You can get the buffs. They're just not the best buff. Mm. And so this, by the way, I bet you the whole Tower Forge system was put in there because like, right, we're gonna put the system shards in. It's like, but this can't, how long is it? So wait, 5 X many weeks, and you could have like 5 red shards. Oh, and you're gonna get something. You think, okay, how do we make this content last longer? Oh well, RNG, because that's what RNG is for, making content last longer, and that's all this does.
I mean, what's cool? People are complaining about this. I mean, to get I always harp back to this. Vanilla getting full raid set, wasn't it like 6 months? Doing it every week. How many hours per week?
Back then. Originally it was like 2 nights a week, probably about 5 to 7 hours.
Yeah.
2 nights a week.
So we're talking 10 to 14 hours a week.
Yeah.
To get a chance, and it would take you approximately 6 months.
Yeah, right. Yeah, to get a full set, yeah. But then later tiers came into more gear. Yeah. And
right now we're talking an hour.
If that.
Maybe. And,
of minimal effort with an hour with a confirmed thing of getting it done. There was also the risk of sometimes you wouldn't even kill the boss.
Oh, fair.
You had to progress, and then especially when new cons come out, you were like, well, am I going to get this done? I miss those days. Why did I quit Classic? God damn it.
For reasons.
Wrong reasons. I really should go over myself. Anyway, moving on. So that was. Can I just go over things? That was sure. EGS Across the Edge first point. Tony Covenant. You make it seem like you are after the Cunt Carl mission. You don't get anything from them. How are you punished when you get stuff? As Xeno said, we really do not need. There you go. You did say it. Okay. We really do not need the shards. So why is it such a big bid deal? It's not supposed to be a big deal. It says bid. A big deal if you don't get that one that gives 5. Is it 5% more power strength? I don't know what it is. 5% more power strength.
No, I think it might be a bit more than that. Because I'm pretty sure the difference with armor is like 22.5% versus 15%. So I think it's more than 5.
Okay. If you don't get that one that gives 5% more power strength, how I see the shard system, it's there to give a medium buff to our frames if you want to put in the effort. And I myself feel very rewarded every week. And honestly, I only have 2 Tau shards. And when I got them, I felt, oh, cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
Aegis Consultancy replies, last point here. So, Tony Craven, TLDR, I'm being punished for doing the same mission as other people by getting a lesser reward of the same item, regardless of resource expenditure or mission performance. Long version. I'm referring to the hunt specifically. The Carl mission give the same amount of stock to all who complete every side objective. For Chipper's shop, it comes down to what players want to purchase for their weekly allowance. I mainly purchase a shard and save up to 10 extra for other goodies. the shop has. I have 12 more weeks before I completely empty it out, which is all just cosmetics. The hunts, however, are a completely different situation. There is an RNG factor to the reward you're mainly doing the activity for. It feels more like a consolation prize than an actual trophy. The shards are completely unnecessary. However, I want them to replace mods on a certain warframe, i.e. natural talents, transient fortitude, preparation, P-flow, prime flow. It'll complete my build more than they were before. I'm a player who min-maxes wherever I can on a build. Being gatekept for the opportunity by both a time aspect and a luck aspect isn't exactly a great feeling and just feels like I got nothing.
Well, that's not true though. You did get something.
I think it's a perception thing. It's looking at the shards. Some people go, yes, I got another red shard. That's exactly what I wanted. Oh, wow. And the next week they're like, oh, I got a Tau Forged one. Oh, cool. And then there's the other people who look at it and go, roll dice and go, oh, a red shard. I got nothing. It's like, no, you did. It's in your hand. No, I got nothing. So it's a perception thing, I think.
It is. And like I appreciate the comments and the conversations and everything, but at the same time it's just, what are you even going to do with the fucking, like, hey, so
I can appreciate, he says that they say that they're a min-maxer and they do min-max, but it's like, yeah, but okay, so you can't once you finish min-maxing, you're like, oh yes, I shall like Thanos sit down and look at a glorious job well done, everything in its proper place, or you're just gonna be like, where's the next min-max? It won't satisfy you. It really won't.
Bring back trials.
Yeah, bring back trials. Yeah, then maybe, yeah. If there's trials back, people can whinge about Tower charged. Yeah, that's the deal.
As long as they're hard.
Yes, definitely. Right, that's it for those replies. Ooh. Let us move on.
So it's time for the memes.
Yeah, I did a lot bit more of that extra there because I thought it's an interesting debate that people are giving us some great points. Right, so all these memes are from the r/memeframe subreddit. They have been picked because they are some cool memes. And there's also a secret meme of the week in the description of this video. Do check it out. And do check out the r/memeframe subreddit. We don't make any of these memes. There are just some glorious people out there making them. And we just want to showcase a few of them. So the links, as I say, are in the description of the video. Do check them out. Right, let's go to number 1. Avira eyebrow.
Oh my fucking god, I just noticed what they've done. That took a moment. I was like, what the fuck am I... I didn't realise that wasn't part of the actual helmet. Yeah,
I think it's brilliant.
Genius.
But it also makes the eyes on the top look like a frog face. Right, moving on to meme number 2.
I thought it was just the eye in the middle. I didn't think there was eye.
Yeah, it is the eye in the middle. It's an eyebrow for it, but it makes the other two, with the mustache, you think the top of it looks like a frog, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right, number 2.
The Conclave. Hello, Teshin from Warframe. Hello, Adaris from StarCraft. The Conclave.
Oh my god. I was trying to remember what the fucking Protoss called the Conclave, and I was, yeah.
The Conclave. I know that was a Xeno one. Yeah. For Xeno.
I miss StarCraft. This made me sad now. I miss StarCraft so much.
I miss the Conclave.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The Lotus has layers. The onion that I found on r/Baldly interesting.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
Yeah.
Moving on to meme number 4. Is it 4? Yeah, 4.
Why is it
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
4.
I think there's a problem with this button.
There's a problem with the bottom of.
Okay, to be fair though, I do have extenuating circumstances as to why I haven't sorted it out yet.
Because the graphs wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Yes, Dad. Are you winning, son? Tenno, 246. Anyo Corp, 15.
Lol. Yep.
Meme number 5. A quick, low-effort meme that I made based off a recent encounter. You are a Mastery 29 Atlas Prime waiting at extraction. Your Master Rank 2 Excalibur teammate is on the other side of the map trying to kill one of your rumblers.
Oh, genius.
And finally, everyone's entitled to their opinion and whatnot, but I'm just genuinely confused about what y'all expecting on this. Foreigner doesn't look like a wolf. Oberon doesn't look like a deer. Ivara doesn't look like a tree frog. Trinity doesn't look like a lobster. Wukong doesn't look like a monkey. Valkyria doesn't look like a cat. And my favorite one, Rhino doesn't look like a rhino.
I mean, I'd argue that Ivara and Oberon look like a frog and deer, respectively.
Where's Oberon's ears and funny nose?
Well, I mean, it's at the bottom of the chin, and why does it need ears?
Because it's got to be. It's like, because basically everyone's saying that the what's it called again? Varuna. Varuna looks like a dragon, not a wolf.
I kind of agree with that. I did think that the snout looks more like a beak, but also Trinity, right? First off, it's Trinity Prime, and you're looking at the wrong end.
What have you said?
That's the
still, even so, it's still not a lobster.
Yeah. Cool. Right. And yep. So that is it for the memes. And now it's time to move on to the community shoutouts. Right. So, are you ready, good sir?
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted by the secret room of the week because it reminds me about armor stripping. It's about armor stripping. You should check it out because you worried about armor stripping. So let's move on.
Right. So the first community shoutout of the week: He Clean by an existential puddle.
He's got a little maid outfit on.
Yep.
She's got little danglies.
Yep.
He's so cute.
Yeah. Good old Ordis.
Even I bought that mop and bucket.
Did I buy it? I'm sure I did. Right. The second community shout out is Animals by Kurdy. So you got Varuna the wolf, Chroma the dragon, Lavos the snake, Nidus the maggot,
Maggot.
Zephyr the bird. I don't know why it's spider and cat, but yeah. Cora the spider, Valkyria the cat.
I guess both of them have web-esque things. Valkyria can shoot things and actually can Spider-Man around. And Cora can strangle Dome.
Yeah.
But and Cora can strangle Dome, which is kind of spidery. So they both have spider and cat-esque things.
Yeah, no, I now understand that. I thought it was like, yeah. So we got Avara the jellyfish, Titania the butterfly, and Oberon the deer. Or if you got Oberon Prime, the horse. Right.
And if you had normal Avara, it should be frog.
That's true. Avara the jellyfish and Avara the frog.
Yeah.
Right. So the third community shout out is Chibi Varuna by Dasta Creations.
I don't well. Dasta Creations is great and all, really great. But I do feel they probably should have swapped the coloration for the head and the side, the smaller heads, because I see the smaller heads before I can actually see the big head.
I agree with you. However, I think that's just how it is on the model.
Maybe, yeah. So I'm going to get me like, where's the main head?
Yeah. The fourth community shout out is Frike by Narrow. I think that's supposed to be Narrabon. I put Narradon.
Ooh, hands.
Right. Yep, gorgeous. The fifth community shout out is Limbo Prime Archon Faust by Robo Mythos. I'd love it if we actually had more Archon types. What?
I hate Archons.
Wow.
The concept annoys the hell out of me. Why would the Tau be like, oh man, we actually they don't make sense because there's like some of the.
You said the Tau.
No, that's sorry, that's my brain's jumping points. There's some. I can't remember what it is or the lore on them. It's like it's not clear whether they were made in the Tau solar system, made in our solar system, or what. It's like there's different lore points because some of them says like made on battlegrounds where where Sentient and Warframe fought, but then there's some evidence that like Era made them in Tau and brought them here, and it's like if that's the case, why did Era go? You know what I miss? Owls. I really miss owls. Oh, I've got a Warframe corpse in the larder. I don't know why. I'll just make an owl.
I'm with you.
I do hope that the Archons are not an example of the new thing of if it was that far reaching back, if this is the new paradigm with working things, because they make no freaking sense. I really despise them.
I would be happier if it was Ballas's design, only because Ballas would have some form of connection with the origin system.
Yes.
To I have knowledge of these mythical beasts, or like the wolf, the owl, so on and so forth.
Like myself, I twisted your form into a combination of freak, so that I would not be alone. They are my children, part warframe, part sentient, mirrors of my own disgusting self.
Yep.
You see, you can give a ballast speech about it easily. Era instead, I like the wolf one. I want the wolf.
So who?
Won't make wolf. I'll make wolf. A warframe and sentient ghost smash.
Sorry, who made them?
I'm Era.
Who's Era?
I'm Era.
Do you mean Pazuzu?
Pazuzu!
Right, moving on to the last community shout out.
That's just Era showing that not only does he like animals, he was a big Futurama fan.
Oh, exactly, right. So, and then last but not least, we have Chibi Lineless, Nezha Prime by Dasa Creations.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long time ago, I forgot to post it. What's with the weird... Is it supposed to look like a demon dragon?
Mm.
The fire.
It's just cool, yo. Enjoy.
It's so cool. It is cool.
No. And that is it for the community shoutouts.
Time for the
time for the what?
Quote.
Oh, no. Oh, thank God.
Never again. Never
again.
It did round off episodes well, but at the same time, it was so painful to make them.
Oh, God. Huge hour wasted then and there. Right, so that is it for this week's episode. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening / watching. Next week we will have the concept.
Patch. Well, when this comes out, what is it? 2 days to patch?
Yeah, 2 days to patch. Dev stream
patch.
Today. And
Woo. Yeah. Oh yeah. Check it out, Dev stream.
Yeah. Let's hope they talk about some Deviri stuff. Cool. Right. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Where's the off button?